Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
Yes, yes, yes. Stiles and Watkins, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., the moment you've all been waiting for. And we got a lot to get into today. The first show, the first beam, what a dream. And speaking of, 11:45, we're getting used to this whole thing now. We got segments now.
Yes, sir.
11:45, you don't want to miss it.
Don't want to.
Beaming or dreaming? That's what we're trying to figure out. Are you beaming or are you dreaming? Chris Watkins.
Yes, sir.
How are you, my guy?
I'm great. I don't know if I could be any better. I've had the last couple days off, feel refreshed. Kings won last night. I mean, that was awesome. You could check out YouTube yesterday for, after every game, I'll be doing a live stream over there on the YouTube channel. So go check that out. That was a blast yesterday. Had tons of people in there. And then today, we're starting the show. It's my birthday. Kings play tomorrow, home opener. I seriously don't think things could be better right now.
They can't. They really can't, because you're 1-0. The Pacific Division is the Kings. They're defending it, right? So they want to continue on that path, right? And by the way, we see you on the text line. We see you on the YouTube chat. Thank you so much for joining us. We love to hear from you.
Yes, sir.
And we love to see what we saw from the Kings. There's so much to get into. Malik Monk caught a body.
Yes, he did.
Okay. Chris Dunn. We're making a new segment. Is this guy still in the league? Starring Chris Dunn. We found out, and now he's got to retire. So that's a tough go for Chris Dunn, because, you're trying to make a name in Utah, a reclamation project, and you lose your life because Malik. And by the way, we're going to get it. Well, by the way, Malik Monk has got to be a top 5 guy in the league that you wouldn't want to get dunked on by. Yeah. Right? You could get dunked on. Right? Harrison Barnes balled out, 27 in the first half, 33 total. He got one too. He was doing it all. We'll get into Harrison. But if Harrison Barnes dunks on you, Andrew Wiggins dunks on you, some of these guys, they're not showmen. They're not going to take your soul. Malik Monk took a body, then just stared at my guy, and Chris Dunn had to push him. That gave me shades of Shaq when Shaq pushed him on the ground. Just a disrespectful situation after that. So shout out Malik Monk. Shout out Harrison Barnes, Keegan Murray, Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox. We'll get into him with Steph Curry a bit later. And don't worry, we still got Niners talk as well a little later in the show.
Oh, I got something for y'all.
Okay, well Chris does, because but no. But you can't switch up now, because we sat here on Friday. We said in or out. You said you weren't interested in that game.
Nope.
You said you weren't worried about you. Hey, man, Niners, maybe it's a good game and we can at least have a conversation. So don't come and puff your chest out now.
We'll see.
All right. Maybe I'll allow it. It is your birthday.
We'll see.
So you know what, Chris can do
whatever I want.
Whatever he wants. And the Kings were doing whatever they wanted with the Utah Jazz. We've talked about the Western Conference and, who's going to be a doormat? Who's going to be tough? Because the Western Conference is much better than the East.
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
But I will say, seeing the Utah Jazz last night made me think, the Jazz are not going to be a team that you got to really get up for.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's my big takeaway especially from the defensive end. Like, I'm pretty sure we're going to talk about the defense later on in the show, but to me, the Utah Jazz team is just not at the same caliber of the Kings. Like that's the biggest thing to me. Yesterday was a 15-point game for a majority of that second half, and their only hope was Jordan Clarkson catching fire, or maybe Lauri Markkanen hitting some threes. Besides that, they didn't have the depth to really stay with that Kings team, and that's what you want to see. Like, this Kings team should be able to, on a night like last night, to show that they're a better team than the Utah Jazz. The Kings are going to have a lot tougher tests to face, especially coming around the corner here with the Warriors and the Lakers this weekend. It was really good. One of my favorite things that I saw from yesterday was the fact that they really took care of a team that they should take care of, even though it's opening night and there's tons of emotions, there's tons of energy from that Utah side. They might play better yesterday than they will all season long because of how just, everything's new. It's a new opportunity to be a brand new team and all that. And the Kings they silenced it all. They handled it well. And they never really let Utah back into that game. And I think that's a great way to start off the season. That's a great tone to set, that you're just here to take care of business. And that was a major theme from Media Day, and it was good to see them actually carry that out in game one after pretty shaky preseason.
Yeah, and I believe Markkanen found a way to get to about 11 by the end of the half, but they really bottled up Clarkson, and we know it's really just those two. I mean, you got John Collins, who we're trying to figure out what exactly he is. THC, Taylor Horton-Tucker, he thought it was still the preseason, just throwing up shots. He only had 8 on the whole night. So, just the ability for the Kings to come out with high energy, high intensity, and just like you said, just take care of business.
Yep.
We don't mess around. Okay, don't play with your food. We don't look forward, and we're really gonna preview Warriors Kings tomorrow. Some of that's gonna come up today just because of De'Aaron Fox signing with the Curry brand, things like that. But tomorrow we got a lot for the Warriors and the Kings. Don't you worry about that. And we'll also be in the building, so we got a lot to get to there too. But going back to the Jazz and the Kings, and really, the Kings, this disrespect mantra that they've been kind of the narrative that's been going on for a while. There are a couple of situations where the league wants to give those highlighted matchups.
Exactly.
And there was a lot of talk about the Christmas game and how the Christmas game, the Kings thought they deserved one. There's the Christmas game, there's MLK, and there's opening night.
Yep.
And I think that the Kings, no disrespect to the Jazz, they may have felt, hey, we feel like maybe we deserve the marquee matchup for opening night. No disrespect to the Jazz, but you got the Jazz. So you better go out there and take care of business, right? You better go out there and say, don't be mad at the writers. Don't be mad at anything else. And if you are mad, do it on the court. Take care of it on the court. So I think that's exactly what they did. It never felt like the Jazz had any type of chance. Everybody came out hot. I mean, Keegan goes back-to-back with some trays. Everybody was just balling. Not everybody. We'll get to those.
Just a few.
Just a couple.
But that's going to happen.
Right.
I think that's built into this team is the fact that you don't have to, especially if you're one of those role players. If you are, I mean, it wasn't that case yesterday, but if you are Sasha Vezenkov, if you are Chris Duarte, if you are Davion Mitchell, you're allowed to have some no pun intended, some off nights because of how deep this team is. You have so many, especially on the scoring end, you have so many teammates who are able to pick up the scoring load. Whether it be, JaVale McGee had 8 points yesterday out of nowhere. Duarte with 9, Sasha with 8. Like there's so many guys on this team who are able to fill it up. And, Harrison, we're going to talk more about him later, but him having 30 is just another sign of as well that it goes to all levels. It's not just those rotation guys that can have a night off. It's also De'Aaron and Sabonis. De'Aaron finishes with 18. It's okay because Harrison was able to carry the scoring load and put up 33. So, I think if you're Mike Brown, of course, there's going to be small little things you're going to look at that you're going to want to tweak and adjust. But I think for the most part, especially when it comes to the offensive end of things, the defensive end looked pretty good for game one. But on the offensive end, you got to feel positive about the effort that your team put out there. And just a good sign that this team is as legit of an offense as they were last year. I think that was a big question of could they be to the ridiculous level as they were last year, and put up 130 in game one is a good way of setting the tone.
That's a good way. And look, we know game of inches can be used for a majority of sports, right? So I'm not trying to round up or whatever the case is, but if you do look at the box score, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys in double figures, which, okay, cool. But then you look, and those who weren't in double figures, you had Vezenkov with 8, right? So he's right there. McGee with 8, he's right there. Duarte with 9, he's right there. And then Herter, who one of the guys we're going to talk to a little bit, he was 3 away. So a couple more points here and there, and in a game that really was never close. And you're talking about, instead of 5 guys in double figures, you're talking about 9.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
So that's something to keep in mind as well when looking at the ceiling of this offense and how it can continue to improve. Vezenkov making his first 3, I'll take that all day. I thought he was about to go off.
Yeah, I did too. I mean, it was one of those moments where you feel like, he hits that first 3. He looks so comfortable, hits a corner 3 later in the game. And I think it's just a great sign that he's ready to go, and everything that was made of him and how professional and how, he's 28 years old. He's not your typical rookie or your typical, European guy coming over to the States. He's going to be able to contribute from day one, and I think that's what we saw. I was surprised to see him enter the game as early as he did, especially preseason game 1. We didn't see him enter until the late third quarter. So for him to get in the middle of the first and then have immediate impact, I mean, just another thing. If you're Mike Brown, you can cross off and say, wow, that was another thing that we saw tonight. That was a massive positive.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about getting those jitters out of the way. I'm sure he'll feel a different kind of energy in his first game in Golden One Center, but I think it's a massive positive that Sasha was out there and looked good on offense, but also the defense was the big question. He looks serviceable. Definitely look like, I'm not going to say he's out there looking like Kawhi Leonard or Giannis or anything like that, but he was able to keep people in front of him. And for the most part, like, I think you'll take good to okay defense from Sasha if it means he's going to be contributing on the offensive end. So I think all positive for Mike Brown for the most part.
You don't have much to complain about, but throughout the show, we'll get to some of it, but
I'll find something.
Got to get to a break. When we get back, continuing to break down this game, and it's an ode to Harrison Barnes. It's time. All that and more when we get back. Sactown Sports, Stiles and Watkins.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam Team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
As a roofer, I've got a million things to do, and that's a million things that need to be done right. That's why I partner with Beacon. The team at Beacon makes sure my materials are delivered accurately and on time. And the Beacon Pro Plus app makes ordering the brands I depend on, like Certainty Landmark Pro, easier than ever. I rely on Beacon because I never stop building, and neither do they. Now through November, purchase Certainty through Beacon Pro Plus and earn up to $750. Beacon, always building.
Hey, it's Carmichael Day for my good friends at Fire Wings with some bullet points for you to remember so you can be a professional fire wing eater. Like Wings Day Wednesday, 88-cent wings each and every Wednesday. 3 flavor lineup includes 7 classic wing flavors, 7 dry rub wing flavors, 7 fusion wing flavors. It's the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. Go to firewings.com or download the app, find a location near you, order online, earn rewards. Fire Wings, just wing it.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
We are back. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports. The first show of Stiles and Watkins, the first official show. If you were listening while we were working this whole thing out to some of our pre-shows and preseason things, thank you so much. If this is your first time listening, thank you as well. And we want you to be a part of the conversation. Hop on the YouTube.
Please.
Okay? I spent a lot lot of money on this haircut. I love for people to see.
Actually, I didn't even.
And so did Chris.
I guess I should show my hair.
Chris got the taper and everything. Come check it out. You know what I mean? I had to get mine too. We had to get right, get crispy because we go into the game tomorrow as well. Right. So hop on the YouTube if you're not on it already. And if you want to call in, if you want to talk about specifically 11:45 when we're talking beaming or dreaming, but call in anytime.
Yeah.
All right. Phone lines are open. How are you feeling about the Kings? Was it more about how bad the Jazz will probably be or more about the Kings? And if they can take that next step that we continue to talk about, 916-339-1140. Be a part of the conversation. Put Kyle to work back there.
Please.
Put Kyle to work back there. He's out there. He's back there in the Light the Beam shirt.
Chilling.
By the way, that beam yesterday, I said it was on muscle milk or creatine or something. It looked thick with about 3 C's. Dang. The beam been working out.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. The beam is looking great.
Yeah.
I mean, I was able to see it last year from my house, but yesterday, I mean, that thing was, you could see from where it started to all the way in the heavens when it ends, because I could not believe how strong it is. It's so much thicker. It's just, it's immaculate.
It was really cloudy yesterday too, so it came through strong.
Yeah. See, I was not here yet, so I drove up this morning. Yeah. So tomorrow will be my first kind of in Sacramento for a Kings game.
Gotcha.
So I'm ready for it.
You didn't fly. So a little back. You were in Philly all weekend. I was in Philly throughout this week. You didn't fly in through Sacramento.
No. I came back. Okay. I came back Tuesday, and I'm glad that I came back early because I got stuck in Dallas for 3 hours. Right, Dirk Nowitzki's got a restaurant. I had to check out Dirk's restaurant. Okay. Great, looks great.
The fadeaway
menu.
Or something?
It's just called Nowitzki.
Oh, okay.
or 41. It's got a big number
Gotcha.
and it just says Nowitzki. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And it's with a
I get the point. Yeah.
Thanks, Dirk. So got stuck there, flew back, got back in Tuesday evening, kicked it, watched the game in Alameda, and then drove up today to be with you, sir. But now I'm here for the rest of the weekend.
I thought you flew into because I was going to tell you last week.
I was going to.
Last week we were talking a lot about Sacramento do's and don'ts. It became a whole thing that we just don't need to divulge into again.
Not yet.
But I was going to tell you, if you flew into Sac, it is a mandatory. If you are from or if you live in Sacramento, it is mandatory that you post on Instagram on your story immediately when you get back. You have to post a picture of the bunny rabbit. I don't know if you've seen the rabbit that you probably haven't flown back into Sac. So I didn't want to ruin it for you before you came back.
Okay.
But, there's a rabbit statue, like a massive statue that dangles from the ceiling.
All right.
At Sacramento International Airport that you like.
It's like
mandatory.
Is there a reason?
No, nobody can figure it out.
I'm sure there's some reason.
There is one, but no one cares.
It's the same reason why there's a piglet statue in front of Golden One Center.
Okay.
It's just there, and we just kind of stopped asking questions.
Wait,
interesting.
Are you talking about the weird, like the multicolored statue that's sitting there? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's of Piglet.
All right.
From
I will
wait. What?
Yeah.
I will definitely be checking that out. All right.
Yes.
The rabbit.
All of it.
Silly rabbit. You know what I mean? Well, I'll tell you who wasn't for the kids. And that was Harrison Barnes.
My goodness.
Harrison Barnes was not playing any games.
That was some grown man stuff.
That was grown man.
Not for children.
I mean, that was
NSFW.
Literally what you said last week about Harrison Barnes and being able to make any shot in the book.
Could do everything.
That's what he did yesterday.
Yeah.
How do you want it? You want to get dunked on?
Yep.
You come get dunked on. You want the midi? I got the midi. You want the tray ball? I got the tray ball. You want to get bodied? You want to miss out? You want to miss out going to the weight room and miss out on the muscle milk that the Beam's been drinking? You can do that too.
Yeah.
Harrison was playing like he's been listening to the chatter.
Yeah.
Harrison was playing like he was tired of hearing Harrison. We need this. We need this.
Yeah.
Now, will it be? Are we going to see this 27.5 all season? No. We're not going to see that.
No.
But if you can have days like this, that takes a lot off of, like you said, De'Aaron Fox. We only need you 18 tonight. We save it. Save it for the Warriors.
Yep.
I got you tonight, right? We just need more nights where Harrison Barnes says, Sabonis, you're in foul trouble. I got you.
Yeah.
De'Aaron, you're not feeling it tonight. I got you. As long as there's a combination of two guys giving you legitimate scoring, you're always going to be in the mix. So whether that's Keegan and Barnes, whether that's Keegan and Fox, whether that's Sabonis and Murray, anybody, right? So a lot of things revealed itself. It's only one game. But if Harrison Barnes can do this, once every 10? A Harrison Barnes game's once every 10?
I love it.
Now we're unlocking things.
Yeah.
Now we got the key.
Yeah, I mean, it was great to see. I think the big thing is, you said it. Like, are we going to see this 82 games from Harrison Barnes? I would almost guarantee no. But how many times can he just make his imprint known? Like it's too many times where we're just having, again, conversations about where was Harrison today. And he doesn't have to be able to put up 20 on a given night, but just having those moments when, he's always so great at those slow Euro steps and getting to the line when the Kings are struggling to score and slowing the game down. But yesterday, he just took advantage of every opportunity he got. I mean, some of it definitely I'm going to give credit to Utah because they were in that weird zone that the Kings just absolutely obliterated. And, the Kings did a great job of getting dribble penetration and then kicking out to Harrison, who was wide open. And credit to HB for being ready and for executing and for not looking to pass on from those shots, but for taking those open looks, for driving to the lane aggressively, looking to stick it in the rim instead of, hitting it off the glass. He threw those down. I loved what I saw from Harrison yesterday. And you're right. Like if we can get that performance every 10 games from Harrison, if we can get, that's like 8 of those a year. If we can get 5 to 8 a year, I think that's massive for the Kings because again, I think last year, my favorite stat with this Kings team with their ridiculous offense was 7 or 8 guys finished a game with 30 or more points. And that just, again, shows that it could be anybody's night on a given night. And it's tough to scheme against this Kings team because, okay, you're going to focus in on slowing down De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah.
Well, then, Harrison Barnes can give you whatever. And there's just so many different guys that you have to look out for. And I think it's huge for the Kings for them to establish themselves as that kind of offense where there's deadly weapons all over the place and you can't leave anybody. And Harrison just took a massive advantage of yesterday, and shout out him because, we were talking last week about why doesn't anyone ever talk about him being a guy that could potentially elevate his game and also by virtue elevate this team. And I think last night's an example of, if you forget about him, he's still got some bag in there to make you pay. And so I loved what I saw out of Harrison last night.
And the bottom line is, and we spoke about this as well, Harrison Barnes is basically in his prime. Right, he's not over the hill. So. He's just been in the league for a while. He's 30 on the dot. So you are in your prime at that age. Does that mean that your game is going to continue to evolve? Maybe not, but it does mean you got a little bit more grown man strength. It does mean that he's 31. So he looks at the game a little bit differently, and he understands I'm going to have to be the one to step up in these situations. Does that mean the ball is going to drop? I mean, he was a 5 for 5 from 3 in the like that's not going to continue to happen, but it's just the intent and the way that he played because of this offense. You're looking around, okay, well, you got to account for Fox. You got to account for Sabonis. We already know. So basically you got to choose between Keegan and Harrison Barnes in terms of who you want to put your top defenders on. And nobody has the guns to do that, right? Nobody has enough defensive prowess to cover everybody. It's just in terms of who is around and who is available and who you think, all right, we're just going to gamble. And if this guy gets hot, I don't know what else we can do. You know what I mean? So I'm looking here and for Harrison Barnes and what he was able to do. And I think it's scalable, not what he did, but just the way he played, not the 5 for, not any of that, but just the way he played and just continuing to put pressure on the defense. We talk a lot about the Kings defense or lack thereof, and we're going to get into it in this next segment. But no team has more than two to three elite defenders.
Two. If you have 2 good defenders on the floor at the same time, you're
above average defenders.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at this team offensively, and you got to put your top guy, if they can guard guards, you got to put your top guy on Fox.
Yep.
And if you have a top bigger guy, he's going to go on Sabonis. Yep. So if you happen to have 3, if you're a Boston Celtics, or I don't even know if the Bucks are there anymore because of Dame, right? That person is going to, your last bet is going to go on Keegan or Harrison. Yep. And that means that whoever is not guarding them, it's time to eat. Yeah. It's time to smell some barbecue chicken.
Yep.
That's what it's got to be all season long. And Keegan, just quickly, if teams don't understand, I had a guy I used to play with at the Y, and he would just, top of the key threes, he would just walk into them. If teams don't get Keegan off the line, I can't wait to see his percentage of top of the key threes. Yep. They're just sleeping. Yep. I'm like, Keegan, just shoot the rock. I know it's early in the shot clock, but it's there.
I'm really glad you point that out because there was a couple times yesterday where I was like, Keegan, like you have so much, like, JaVale will set a screen that'll pretty much lock off everybody from contesting his 3 at the top of the key. And he's still not quite comfortable enough looking for his shot. And that's kind of the next step in his development. Is just Keegan's got to be like, this is my, like, much how Harrison recognized that opportunity and was like, it's time to go get mine, which you don't see often out of Harrison. But I would love for Keegan to have some games this year where I say, Keegan Murray's kind of forcing it a little bit. I would love to say that at least once or twice this year, because I think obviously if it's happening 40 times a year, that's going to be a problem. But I would love to have a good problem to have for me would be Keegan Murray being too aggressive and trying too hard to find his shot, because I think right now we're still finding that he's kind of on the edge of, like coach wants me to do more stuff and I am looking for it, but there's no time where it's almost hyper aggressive. And that's what I want to see out of Keegan next. And what we saw yesterday was totally fine. 15 points for him in an opener. That's great. And he's going to build upon that throughout the year, but there's still a couple little things where it's like, he still has pockets where he can be even better than what he is right now. And I think that's what's so exciting throughout this year.
Got to get to a break. When we get back, we're going to talk defense, but first, we've talked about Malik a little bit. Yeah. We got the sound of the body, of the situation. Chris Dunn, I'm sorry to you and your family, but we got to play this out. Probably more than once. Yeah. More than once today. We got to get to it. All right. All that and more when we get back. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Can Mike Brown build on last season's Coach of the Year award? Can the Kings exceed 48 wins?
We will be better prepared to make the run that we expect to run come next playoff.
Tune into every Kings game this season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Thursday's going to start out crisp and cool. In fact, you feel that morning chill the minute you step out the door. For the afternoon, mostly sunny skies with a north breeze. It's a dry day today with highs in the upper 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
You know what time it is. It's time to trade up to a brand new Kia at Folsom Lake Kia. Trade up to the newest technology with a low payment. Shop Folsom Lake Kia, family owned for over 20 years.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
It's no secret to golf enthusiasts that Timber Creek and Sierra Pines in Roseville are one of the region's most unique and scenic places to enjoy a great game of golf. 27 holes, boundless options. Elevate your game on our newly renovated driving range, putting green, and chipping area. Whether you're aiming for fun, lower scores, or all-around growth, we've got you covered. Experience golfing dreams in Roseville and book your tee time at timbercreekgc.com. Timber Creek and Sierra Pines, your ultimate golf haven.
Got a drain that's clogged up? Or maybe a toilet? Or a faucet that just won't quit leaking? Kenny and Jerry here from Bell Brothers, and we want you to know that it does make a difference which plumber you call. At Bell Brothers, we respect your time by showing up when we say we'll be there. Our technicians are all background checked and drug tested, and will greet you with a smile. They're trained to do the job right the first time, and they carry over 1,000 parts on their trucks, so they won't have to order something and then come back later. They leave the work area cleaner than they found it, and your final bill will be the same as they quoted. That's why they call us the No Surprise Guys. So if you need a plumber, it does make a difference who you call. Call Bell Brothers. Our number is 916-444-1234, or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com. That's 916-444-1234, or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
It's the model year-end sales event at Acura of Stockton. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Lease a new Acura RDX or MDX. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton or AcuraofStockton.com, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips.
Ready for a sizzling football season? Take your game day parties to the next level with Napoleon Prestige Grills from Green Acres Nursery and Supply. Fire up the grill and score big with mouth-watering burgers, juicy steaks, and finger-licking wings. Napoleon Prestige Grills bring the heat and come complete with a lifetime warranty. Get your ultimate game day companion today. Visit your local Green Acres Nursery and Supply and elevate your tailgate experience with Napoleon Prestige Grills. Green Acres Nursery and Supply, your one-stop shop for grilling greatness this football season. Visit idiggreenacres.com for the store near you. Game on.
Sactown Sports
Headlines. Good morning, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter, and these are your Sactown Sports headlines. The Sacramento Kings are 1-0 after going into Utah and dominating the Jazz 130-114. Harrison Barnes had 27 first-half points, finished the game with 33. The Kings made 13 three-pointers in the first half. That is a new franchise opening night record. Frankie Cardicelli has a super in-depth breakdown of game number 1. You can read right now at SactownSports.com. In football, Brock Purdy is unlikely to play Sunday for the San Francisco 49ers while he goes through the NFL's concussion protocol. And tonight, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play the Buffalo Bills on Thursday Night Football. Coverage begins on Sactown Sports at 4:30 p.m. It's homecoming night for Sacramento State football this Saturday versus the Idaho State Bengals. Kickoff is at 6 o'clock p.m. Come early and enjoy the festivities. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com. Those are your headlines. Let's return to more Stiles and Watkins.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
We are back. Sactown Sports, Stiles and Watkins taking you up to 2 p.m. First show. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being with us. The YouTube, it's a party in there, so hop in there. And I see you on the text line as well. We did our ode to Harrison Barnes last segment. And Harrison, you don't got to get on a plane. You don't got to get on a train. You don't got to get on an automobile.
Nah, you're good.
Chris Watkins, as of right now, will not be paying for your Uber. He will not be paying for your Lyft. He wants you to stay.
I didn't say that.
He wants you to stay. All right, I'm saying it for him.
I never said that.
The 916 Barnes.
Keep raising that value.
Barnes, stop that.
Sorry, that was rude.
Barnes
That
does
was so
this
rude.
every season. What's new?
Yes, he does. Quite literally.
He starts out hot. Well, because he set the record for the Kings before for most points in a first game of the season, correct?
Yeah, which I can't stand all those stats, by the way. This is the most points and a half that the Kings have had in a season open. I'm like, well, who's keeping track of just singularly season opener stats and who it doesn't mean anything. But yeah, I mean, Harrison Barnes has led the team in scoring and had 30-point nights on opening night before, and it's good to see. I'm never going to be upset at watching HB, perform in that way, because I think that's best for the team. I think the place where my frustration has been centered around in the past is just the consistency. Like, can he, or even, I don't even need to say in the future, but just as simple as last night. Like, I would love to say that I hate to do this, but I really do enjoy to counter these things. But like,
we weren't supposed to do this till later.
I'm sorry.
It's your birthday.
He had 27 points in the first half and then 6 in the second half.
So,
I mean, I'm not saying you have to I'm not saying finish off the game with 52, but I'm just saying, like, can you be a little bit louder in that second half? You have a huge impact in the first half. Can you just make your presence known a little bit more? And I think I tried not to pick on last night.
Other guys trying to get other guys going.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, get other guys feeling good. I have no problem with the 6 in the second half. Not one.
I just think that it's I mean, I do have an issue with it, but I'm going to let it live because he played so well. And I think that's a great sign for things, and I'll gladly welcome that performance every single time. But can he doesn't have to have 33 on Friday or on Sunday, but can he have 16 still? Can he have 14? Can he have 8 rebounds in the game?
He did not take a shot in the second half until like 2 minutes left in the third quarter.
Like, I just can just bring some consistency. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't have to be this top level performance every single time, but if you're not going to have that spark every 10 games or so, like we're hoping, can you at least be present for a majority of the games you're in?
Look, man,
Make your presence known. I shouldn't say
the hot hand.
Make your presence known.
He was the hot hand. He set the tone, and then he said everybody else. Now
they didn't even have to worry about.
Now y'all can get going.
Exactly.
So you know what I mean?
I'm not.
What are we talking about?
Let's not talk about it today. Today is not the day to have this conversation.
You started it.
I did, and it's not. I've decided.
He wasn't invisible. He made his presence felt. We don't have to
today.
guess how many minutes he played.
Well, he played 24. Because he only played in the first half.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, that's not true.
All right. So we have a segment going as well, and it's going to be.
I'm sorry. I feel bad.
How many minutes did Harrison Barnes play?
I really feel bad.
But we don't have to do that today.
Yes.
Let's do it anyway. We don't have to because he balled out.
He played 24 minutes.
It's time for us to guess. How many minutes did Harrison Barnes play?
I feel like the more that we shtick this up, it's just,
No.
Okay.
No, you're the reason we're here. And I'm going to say...
Stiles told me last week we need imaging for this.
Yeah, and thank you, Kyle. I'm going to say he played... It wasn't really a blowout till the end, so I don't know. I'm going to say 34 minutes.
I'm going to stick with 24 because it's funnier. Right. I actually know the answer, so he played 33.
It was 33?
He played 33 minutes.
I was going to say
33.
Because
I only know that because he led the team in minutes.
All right, Kyle. Yeah. Was it 33?
It was 33.
Wow.
Well, 33 and something.
We can't play the game if you're going to keep staring at the box scores.
I literally only knew it because I was like, who played the most minutes tonight? And it was Harrison. And guess what? I was surprised.
You know what? And I hope we have to scrap this because Harrison's balling every day.
I do too.
You know?
I really do too.
Thank you for that, Kyle.
Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you, Chris, for taking us down this path.
I'm sorry.
When we're trying to be positive.
I'm so sorry.
But again, Chris's birthday, YouTube chat. Shout out, Chris.
This is on me.
Shout out, Chris. Happy birthday. Tell him happy birthday. Yep. Text line as well. Tell him happy birthday. All right. Enjoying himself, feeling himself.
I'm
really why not?
Sorry, Harrison.
And why not?
I don't like to single people out, but it's just, I'm sorry. This feels a little bit cyberbullying. Just a little bit.
Especially after a day where I'm thinking, thinking Harrison is.
I know he's exempt.
Yeah,
he's exempt. Technically on YouTube now, so it would be cyber.
Yeah, it is. Cyber.
There you go. Yeah. Shout out Harrison Barnes. Actually, Harrison, I hope you are listening because continue to use this motivation. Yeah. Continue to have a chip on your shoulder, a Frito-Lay size chip. The
which
family
sucks,
size
he's
bag.
like the nicest guy ever.
That's why
Chris
I feel
doesn't care.
so bad. He's so funny. He's so nice, and he's like actually the most professional player that the Kings have.
Chris
like
doesn't care.
Not in a bad way, but just like that dude carries himself like he is he just knows how to carry himself.
All right,
he's just a very
you can't bring yourself back
man.
now. You can't bring yourself
beard.
back now. No. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Okay. Speaking of, Chris Dunn had enough.
Gosh, I thought he already had enough. Malik had to put him back into retirement. I swear that man was not playing basketball.
And we have both calls, right? Of course. Let's go to the TV call first because it was something else by our guy Drapes, who will be on later for when we do crosstalk with the Drive guys. Let's hear it.
De'Aaron Fox with the steal. Sniper, the other way. Dive. Oh, he brought the house down. Look at this Jazz crowd. They don't believe it.
Wow.
Oh man, is Kyle going to be able to do the show today? Because he was like,
right.
He was screaming.
Yeah,
on
hopefully
that, and
some
by the end of the
tea
game,
with lemon and honey. He'll be fine. He's a gamer. He'll be fine. But Chris Dunn will not be fine. And I understand, a lot of people go back and forth with a dunk.
Yeah.
And it's, hey, business decision, or at least you're trying to defend, right? Yeah. I don't know how tall Chris Dunn is. They might actually be comparable in size. I don't think Malik is huge, but Malik gets up. And it's just bad. It's just bad from the beginning. Yeah. I understand what you were trying to do there, Chris Dunn. Hey, it's the first game. I'm trying to show that I can use an E for effort. That is not an E for effort. That is a D for dunked on, or a B for body, or a P for poster. Because that's what happened. You got dunked on. You tried to jump. Don't jump with me. All right? Don't. Leapers like to leap. And like I said earlier on, there's a couple guys you would not want to be dunked on. Yeah. Malik Monk, you could just tell he talks trash. You could just tell from seeing him against the Warriors, right? And that was an intense matchup. But Malik Monk talks trash. That's not a guy you want to get dunked on by.
No.
Okay?
He's going to let you know.
I'll get dunked on by Harrison Barnes. Yeah. Right? Harrison might,
Again,
shake your hand. He'll shake your hand after and say, hey, great effort on that jump. But Malik Monk, he's in your grill. I hope you chewed some gum earlier, or some mints, or some Listerine, because he was all up in that breath.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
He was in your face, Chris Dunn. And Chris Dunn, honestly, I was kind of surprised that I'm glad he didn't, but I was a little bit surprised that Malik didn't get a tech.
Oh, I was shocked. I was shocked he didn't get a tech.
He sat there and yelled for what felt like 5 minutes. It was probably only about 10 seconds.
See, I think Malik knows the rule book to a T, and he did a great thing of he didn't yell at Dunn. He just kind of yelled into, like he was facing his direction, but it wasn't directed at him.
Right.
Which is just, again, chef's kiss.
Yes.
It couldn't have been more perfect. I mean, the setup for it was you could tell something big was going to happen. It was almost like you could see De'Aaron in real time being like, should I dump it back to him? Should I throw this off? I thought it was going to go off the glass for a second. And if that went off the glass,
you got to go. No, that was like and one.
A mini DeAndre Jordan situation.
Yeah.
And then once Malik got the ball, I was like, this is not going to end well.
No, at that point, it's just,
it was
like
over.
I said,
Game,
and one, hot sizzle. Oh, baby, it's over. Just shut down the game.
That's a busted rim right there.
The game breaker.
Yeah.
We had a game breaker by Malik Monk to end Chris Dunn's career. I'm kidding, Chris Dunn. You'll get back from it. I don't know when, because that's probably going to be the highlight on SportsCenter for top 10 plays for a cool month.
That might be best, like a top 10 NBA dunk of the entire season.
If I'm Chris Dunn, though, I might be okay with it because now at least people will remember that I'm in the league.
Yes, exactly. It's
because I didn't know.
He did play in 2023, 24.
Yeah,
That's
he's
crazy.
back. He's back. All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, we talked about the offense. What about the defense? What about the Kings defense? What did you like? Was it real? Was it fake? All that and more when we get back. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Here's a Fox steal. Got a breakaway coming up for Sacramento. Chased by Dunn. Drops it to Monk. Hammer time. Thrown down by Malik Monk. That's as good as it gets for Sacramento and
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Claim based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own one report.
It's the sponsor of the drive of the game, Jiffy Lube, our old friends, our dear friends, Jiffy Lube. With winter coming up, listen, all kinds of things. Obviously, oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations. You get your air filters replaced. Make sure you winterize your vehicle. For more information, of course, you can go to jiffylube.com and make sure you tune in after each and every Kings game for the Jiffy Lube drive of the game. For more info, once again, go to jiffylube.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Igor, my faithful companion, it is time to prepare for the night. The shadows grow long, and the creatures of the night stir with excitement.
Yes, Master Dracula. What do you require of me?
I need you to fire up the hearse. Elk Grove Kia is having a Halloween sale that is to die for. We're going to upgrade you a new car worthy of the Prince of Darkness. I'm so excited. It is making my blood shiver.
But Master, with your credit history, aren't you worried you're going to get turned down?
Igor, shut up. Elk Grove Kia's finance department has over 100 years of experience. They can even get me approved, even with my troubled past. And Elk Grove Kia's exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty on all new Kias, it's almost like having an immortal car.
Elk Grove Kia's Halloween sale is so good, it's scaring the competition. In fact, it's so scary, we can't even advertise the pricing. So whether you're in need of a new or used car, make your way to Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, or visit us at elkgrovekia.com.
One of the things with running is I want to enjoy
the run, but I never made it very far because the arches in my feet just killed me. So when I got to the end of my rope and I said, I have to do something to get rid of the pain, and a couple people recommended the Good Feet store to me. I loved how I could go in and get a free personalized arch support fitting. They put that time, that work, that effort into helping you find the right arch supports. And you can walk around this store with these in your shoes and try them out before you purchase them. So after I got my arch supports, the arches on my feet stopped hurting and the pain instantly, literally instantly went away. So if you have pain, go. Find a Good Feet store and go. There is an answer. Find the simple solution that will get rid of your pain. I'm Rondi, and that's my Good Feet story.
See how Good Feet arch supports work for you before you buy with a free fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store.
Knee, hip, foot, leg, or back pain? Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
We are back. Sactown Sports, Stiles and Watkins, getting it going here. So what? We're almost an hour into our first show.
Yep.
You know, let's give it a rating. Okay. You know what I mean? I think we can be pretty objective about this, right?
We want to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel there's room for improvement for sure. Time-wise, maybe it's because we haven't done the show all week, but it does feel like having a good time here. We're taking our time. It feels like it's been a long hour.
Right.
So
Some days it just flies by. But I do think that we're also basking in the first showness.
Yes.
We're basking in the birthdayness.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Chris has a birthday glow.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Mm-hmm. You know, he's probably gonna go out, have a nice meal later.
Probably.
Okay. So there's just a lot to kind of just get through.
Yeah, get through.
Right?
Yeah, if we're being honest.
But
we're not like blindly doing the show, but yeah, I mean it's
no.
We gotta get to the other side.
Yes.
This,
yes. And Chris, I don't know. There might have to be a happy birthday or something. We might have to go with the Stevie Wonder
not
version.
A big surprise.
Kyle might cook something up for us. You're not off the hook. And if somebody can call in and sing if you have a great singing voice. I don't mind that either. I'm sure
I would.
I'm sure Chris would, but that's more of a reason for you to do it. All right. So thank you very much. Yeah, and I'd say, I think I rate my baby based on how she does in a day.
Mm-hmm.
I rate her out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
I tell her, hey, that's kind of a 7.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And by the time I left, I got ready to leave. They're still out there in Philly. I said, hey, today was a 10. Today was a 10. So sometimes you gotta give them, you gotta congratulate them, right? So right now I'm thinking 9.4, and that that 0.6 was you.
That's me
roasting Harrison.
That's fair. That's
ahead of schedule.
Yeah, I don't feel good about that.
I
really don't. That's on me. That's totally on me.
So if we can just keep the positivity,
I got you.
But then I will subtract 0.6 because it is your birthday.
Thank you.
So we're back at a 10. We're back at a 10.
Okay.
We're cooking. The defense was cooking for the Kings. And they looked like they cared. And I think part of it is a lot of just caring, right?
Yes.
And effort. When you grow up, you're playing CYO or AAU or what. I don't play defense in AAU, but whenever you're playing basketball, you get asked to play defense. Hey, man, defense is all about effort. And we've kind of pushed back on that because, hey, some of it is, that guy is kind of built to play good defense. He's very quick laterally.
Yep.
He's got a really large wingspan. Some of those he can jump out of the gym. Some of those things definitely help. But for the Kings, knowing how young and athletic they are, we have always felt like they could get to middle of the road.
Yep.
And we believe that's all they need to do because they are so good offensively, right? So what I saw yesterday, I saw Swipe of the Fox swiping,
yes,
which is what led to the monster dunk. So I saw De'Aaron Fox doing his thing defensively. I saw guys just putting forth effort that we haven't seen. Harrison Barnes, a couple block shots.
Yeah.
So everybody, again, how much of this was it just the Jazz not being very good? How much of this was it's the first game, we're amped up?
Yeah.
The question is sustainability. And we'll get to those that maybe didn't bring that defensive intensity later on in the show, like we were supposed to.
Sorry. That's on me.
But what did you think about the Kings defensively?
I thought it was good. I thought it was good for showing. I think after Mike Brown is just harping on this now for a year and some change, it was the big talking point all preseason, all offseason. Like, can this team get better defensively? Can it have more of a defensive focus? And I think game one, you have to feel positively about at least the level of physicality that they brought, which is a big part of effort as well. Like the point of attack defense, just getting into the grill of guys. It's not great if you get blown by, but at least if you are going to get blown by, make sure they feel you at some point in their drive. And I think the Kings did a good job of that. Of course, De'Aaron did a great job of that. And I thought as an entire team unit, they played pretty good defense for game one, but also it's a first date. You're always going to put your best foot forward.
Yeah.
You're never going to be who you really are when, you're moved in and, you got your socks on the floor and all that stuff. Who are you really is going to be what's interesting. It's great that the Kings are showing the ability to have this. We saw in the playoffs last year, there's a different level. There's a switch that can be flipped on the defensive end in terms of them upping the intensity. But is this who they actually are is going to be what's important. Kind of like what we were what I was talking about with Harrison. It's great that you're able to do this in the first game, but second game, third game. Okay, how do you look in the 20th game of the season? How about the 60th game of the season? Like, is it truly a part of your identity, or is this just you putting your best foot forward, doing the thing that you've been harped on all for the past month and a half?
Right.
And then you're just going to forget about it once you really get comfortable and you settle into who you are.
Yeah, right. At what point are you going to leave the toilet seat up?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Sorry, I brushed my teeth and there's water on the mirror.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You didn't do the dishes, right? When will that happen for the Kings? But at least they have a good starting spot. So I know expectations aren't the same.
Yeah.
But if you look at the Wizards, this is game one for them against the Pacers, and they just did not care. Pool boy and jacuzzi, did not care at all about playing any type of defense. No. We understand their expectations are honestly the complete opposite of the Kings right now. But in terms of putting your best foot forward, really last year, the Kings, where they were ranked defensively, was down there with those bottom-dwelling teams, and you can't be there. So I think you make a good point about whether it's sustainable, even if it's not what it was last night. And you're going to play, we're going to see a lot tomorrow when they play the Warriors, and we know what the Warriors can bring to the table. We'll highlight that more tomorrow about what the Warriors did in their game. We're actually, a little bit later in the show, we're just going to go all around the NBA. So we're going to talk about it then, but specifically highlighting Warriors versus Kings, that is tomorrow, so you don't want to miss that. But yeah, man, I mean, look, again, a guy like Harrison Barnes is going to have a lot. Harrison Barnes is going to guard, the best the best wing?
Probably, yeah.
Most of the time?
I would assume so, yeah.
And I think Harrison can get it done. So you got that. To me, it's been all about the guard play, and we're going to get into Davion Mitchell a little bit more, but I get it. You want to get in their chest, but if there's a guy like Colin Sexton that can't really shoot and you're getting up in him when all he wants to do is get to the cup, I mean, those are fouls that are just unnecessary to me. So I think that it's a good starting spot. Like you said, they got to keep rolling. They got to keep just improving and keep caring.
Yeah.
Really, that's what it's about. They're going to keep caring. All right, get into a break. When we get back, we got another debut of the fan favorite. How did he do? All that and more. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Can the Niners build off their NFC Championship appearance from last season? How will the quarterbacks perform throughout the year?
Purdy back, now going to throw for the end zone, wide open, Brandon Ayuk is on fire!
Will the defense lead this squad again?
Intercepted, ball got tipped up and taken by Fred Warner.
Get all your 49er coverage throughout the NFL season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
What's up? I'm here with Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's going on for Jeep Adventure Days?
With gas prices skyrocketing, good gas mileage is more important now than ever. And right now, you can save up to $11,000 off MSRP when you lease a new 2024 Jeep Wrangler Sport S 4xE plug-in hybrid.
Okay, but what about hauling my family around?
Well, save even more with up to $14,000 off MSRP when you lease a new 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4xE plug-in hybrid. Great mileage and big savings on one of America's most loved SUVs.
These deals can't last long. Hurry into the Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Center or see their full inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
11,000 total Wrangler 4xE net savings on lease only after 8,500 factory rebates and 2,500 dealer discount. 14,000 total Grand Cherokee 4xE net savings on lease only after 11,500 factory rebates and 2,500 dealer discount. Lease options subject to credit approval. Not everyone will qualify. Rebates include 7,500 federal tax credit rebates. Subject to change without notice. 5 at each net savings. See dealer for details.
Shop Black Friday every day and get the best new deals all month long only at Lowe's. Right now, bring home a select DeWalt drill or impact driver or Cobalt 40-volt blower for just $99. And order by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery. Because Lowe's knows deals. Valid through 10/31. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. Same-day delivery by 8 p.m. for eligible in-stock items. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. Additional terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
The pandemic is over, but COVID-19 is here to stay. In fact, it's still among the top 5 leading causes of death in the U.S., just after heart disease and cancer. So this fall, stay up to date with the latest COVID-19 vaccines, just like you do with the flu, because you've got no time for 19. The vaccine may not be for everyone. Please consult with your doctor. Brought to you by Moderna.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Awesome. Hey, babe, can you check the front door? My package is here.
Yeah, on it. Hey, are we still watching our show tonight?
New episode on Prime? You bet. That reminds me, let's hit Whole Foods this afternoon. We need snack supplies.
From package deliveries to entertainment and even fresh groceries, Amazon is in front of thousands of customers every single day. Learn how you can leverage their reach for your business. Text digital to 916-766-5105 now. Make the smart move. Text digital to 916-766-5105.
With over 100 years as a family-owned company, EB Stone's learned a few things about making plants grow. Start a healthy family hobby with indoor planting with EB Stone's Edna's Best Indoor and Outdoor Potting Soil to help your little plants grow into the perfect indoor plant for the kids and family to enjoy. EB Stone's Indoor and Outdoor Potting Soil is perfectly blended with all the important ingredients you need to create that perfect indoor and outdoor plant or garden. EB Stone, for the life of your garden. Visit ebstone.org for more gardening tips, products, and locations near you. The City of Sacramento offers grass conversion rebates to help you replace your thirsty lawn with a naturally water-efficient landscape. Whether you own a home or business in Sacramento, you may be eligible. Learn more at sacwaterwise.com.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good morning, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter. These are your Sactown Sports headlines. The Sacramento Kings are 1-0. 130-114 was the final score against the Utah Jazz last night. Harrison Barnes had 27 first-half points. 8 different Kings made a three-pointer, and they set an opening night record with 13 three-pointers in the first half. Frankie Cardicelli has a super in-depth breakdown of game number 1. You can read it at SactownSports.com. It's homecoming night for the Sacramento State football Hornets this Saturday versus the Idaho State Bengals. Kickoff is at 6 o'clock p.m. Come early and enjoy the festivities. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com. Those are your headlines. Reminder, all guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Let's return to more of Stiles and Watkins right here on Sactown Sports.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
We're back. Sactown Sports. Stiles and Watkins taking you up to 2 p.m. with a lot of beam talk. Beaming or dreaming, 11:45. Get your calls in now. We're talking Kings. We'll explain it more when we get into it. But yes, beaming or dreaming. That's 11:45. And one thing we haven't talked about as we get into the fan favorites debut, and I know this is something that's been on your mind. We actually could probably save it, so now I'm doing what you did.
Yeah,
but I
good
did
job.
I did the 1 for 7 from 3-ball land for De'Aaron.
Yeah,
Not great.
Wasn't ideal.
Not great, but it turns into one of those things where it's, do you think you can get to, are you working on, because the game was in control, are you working on things? Would he have played it differently if the game was close? I don't know. But 1 for 7 is not going to cut it.
He had a lot of open looks that he just flat out missed. Like it really was that cut and dry. And the shooting is just the thing that with De'Aaron that you're going to have to watch. Like that's going to be the next evolution where if, a lot of people talk about De'Aaron Fox's jump to superstardom, and I think we talked about it a little bit last week, the shooting is so tied in with that leap that it's tough to ignore that number, the 1 for 7, again, on pretty open looks. And that's something that, it's not just, hey, this first game of the season, like, what a talking point. It's something that's going to carry on into the playoffs as well. Like you saw Golden State was more than willing to let De'Aaron shoot. If I'm not mistaken, De'Aaron led the team in 3-point attempts in that 7-game.
They weren't getting them like Ja, though.
No. Well, it wasn't much different. It wasn't like they were completely sagging off of him when he's bringing the ball down, but they were letting him shoot open threes and living with the results. And some nights he was 4 of 9. Other nights he would be 3 of 9 or 2 of 9 and 1 of 7. I think it's just a concerning thing when you think about how teams are going to guard him in the playoffs and if that shot could be something that teams look to exploit. If it is going to be hey, we'd much rather have him take that 3-point attempt than have him drive the key or look for that free throw line jumper. Like it's something that he's got to be able to put on film that he's able to knock that thing down at least a league average level. But obviously 1 of 7 is not how you want to start the year.
Well, signing with the Curry brand,
it should help.
The
right?
3-point percentage might just go up based on that.
Just through osmosis.
Right? So maybe Steph will give him some pointers, but yeah. Quick thing that just popped into my mind because not great, but on a night like tonight, it doesn't matter. Does it matter tomorrow? Or on a night like last night, it doesn't matter. Does it matter on a night like tomorrow? All right, 916-339-1140 is the call line and the text line. Let's get out to Steven, who wants to talk Harrison Barnes. What's up, Steven? You're on Stiles and Watkins.
What's good, boys?
What up?
Happy birthday, Chris.
Thank
you. Wanted to say, man, big happy birthday to you.
Appreciate
You've come a long way since you started working here, man. So, I can't call and not bust your behind if I don't bring up the Australia guy.
Yeah.
We're still waiting on him, man. You're going to have, because it's your birthday, you're going to have to explain it to your new cohort.
Yeah, I got you.
What an amazing game last night, man. That was just such an energetic game. I enjoyed it. I don't know about you guys. I know you guys have to do radio and nitpick and all that fun stuff, but I think that was probably one of the, as far as like an opening game, season opener, I don't think I could have asked for anything better. It was just the energy was there, the vibes were there. I mean, it looked and it felt good. It felt completely different than preseason. So that's pretty much it, man. I just wanted to bust the chops a little bit. Wish you a happy birthday, Chris. Stiles, welcome to the show, my guy. And yeah, you're gonna have to explain the Australian fridge to your new cohort, Mike.
Thank you, Steven. First official caller.
First official caller goes to Steven. Tell him what he's won.
Yeah.
The opportunity to call back every single day,
and forever have that first caller.
That's right.
Yeah, I'll explain the Australian smart fridge thing to you at the back end.
Okay, we'll take
We'll cover the business end first. I really think I agree with Steven. Like I said it up top, but like if you're Mike Brown, there's so many things that you just checked off your list that was like, oh, that was good to see. Oh, we got that in night one. Okay, we got to see that in night one as well. Whether it be Sasha, who I think we're going to talk about here, or just in general, just the vibe around the team. It was definitely, I would consider using the term showcase game. Like I think that's a really good example of something that the Kings should be able to replicate throughout this year, whether it be putting up 130 on a team. I think they're more than capable of doing that to a lot of bad competition, especially if they're going to try and score with this team. I think the Sasha was great to see. I think Harrison in its own way was great to see. And there was a really not much that you can say, wow, that's really concerning. I think Davion's performance is concerning. I think Kevin Huerter's performance is concerning just because of the preseason that he had and all the talk leading into the season about his starting spot. But besides that, I really think you have to be majorly positive about the performance that they put together.
No, you do. And yes, Steven, we're going to nitpick and we're going to do things like that because that's what we have to do. But all in all, there's not a ton to complain about. Who we wanted to get to is Sasha Vezenkov.
Yeah.
And he came out, makes his first three. I'm thinking, okay, cool. I wouldn't necessarily say it was rough after that, but it wasn't a splash entrance to the league. And, I think I'm okay with what I saw. 8 points, 2 rebounds, 1 steal, 3 for 5, 2 for 4 from three-point land. And
13 minutes, right?
13 minutes. And like you said, defensively did not look lost, right? Which is huge because we didn't know what that would look like. Again, it's the Kings, right? Or sorry, it's the Jazz, but didn't look lost. So you like what you see there. I think I saw enough to believe that there was something to build on.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it because it's only the first game of the season. It's Sasha's first official NBA game. I know he's played in really big stages before in front of bigger crowds, in front of, better environments, but there's not going to be any feeling that's going to replicate being on the biggest stage and entering the floor for the first time. And I think Sasha handled it well. I think he's now got all of those, all those reps out of the way. He played plenty in preseason. Again, gets his first NBA action out of the way. It should just be all playing basketball from here. And I know that's a cliche, but I just think that Sasha's game is so plug and play with this offense. It's why everyone was so excited to see him enter because he just fits so seamlessly, like him running around in the corners and spraying the ball all around the place and cutting the way he does. I just think that it's going to only get better and better from here. And so the fact he was able in game one to put 8 points on the board and, didn't airball 3 threes because he was too jacked up or juiced or anything. I think it was a really good starting point. And, it was a question of whether Sasha was even going to be in the rotation to start the season. So I think the fact that, again, you get all of this stuff out of the way. Now it's just about building on this. And Sasha talked about that all offseason long, about every day. It's just about being better than the day previous. And you can't ever lose, you can't lose the forest for the trees. You can't try and look at this big wide scope view of the season without just day to day taking every opportunity as it is. And I think he's done a great job of it, clearly, because where he was preseason game one, more specifically on the defensive end, to where he already is a month and a half later, I think Mike Brown's loving it. And it's a great sign to see that you might not have to slowly bring him along, not baby, spoon feed him minutes until he just is undeniable. I think he's shown that, and it's only one game, and we'll see how he does the rest of this week. But I think we saw that he's at least Mike Brown can be comfortable putting him out there.
Yeah,
at least for now.
Yeah, and again, it's just a good starting point. And we don't know if Sasha will end up being this secret weapon that's going to
this prophetic.
Yeah, he's going to drop 20 a game or something like that. We don't know that, but seeing what we saw last night, at least we know at very worst he should be serviceable. And having a serviceable NBA player on a team with aspirations to do some good things and going back to having a deep bench and having depth and all of that, that's good. We know that the basement doesn't seem to be as low as maybe we feared. We just don't know if the ceiling is going to be what we dreamed of, right? Or maybe what we were hoping for. It all just remains to be seen. It's only been one game, but I think if you're Mike Brown, you're thinking, okay, I can put this guy out here and look, we're not the best team defensively anyway. Right. He's not worse than what we're already putting out there.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think that's something that Mike Brown, if he were to make a list of things that he had an eye on, I don't know that De'Aaron's shot would be in there because I don't think so. It's either going to show up or it's not. Yeah. I don't think anything with Sabonis is going to be there either. I think it would be Davion, who we're going to get to later in the show, Herter, who we're going to get to later in the show, maybe Harrison Barnes, and Harrison Barnes will be a check mark. Yep. I would consider Vezenkov and what he did last night to be a check mark at the very least. It's not a circle star, get a sticker, right?
Yeah,
Something
you're
like
not
that.
putting exclamation points at the end.
Right, but you're also not saying, this might be a swing and miss.
That. Yeah. And let's not forget that Trey Lyles didn't play last night, and there's a good chance that Trey Lyles gets a chunk of the minutes, if not all the minutes that Sasha got yesterday. And the fact that, at least for this very moment in time, game one, let's just say worst case scenario, Sasha, your quote unquote third string guy at that spot, is able to still produce. It again just speaks to the level of depth of this team and all the different routes that they can go in terms of throwing different lineups out there. If Sasha's another guy that from day one you can feel confident or at least trust that he's going to go out there and not kill you. Yeah. It's just another great depth piece for Mike Brown to play with.
Yeah. Agreed. All right. Got to get to a break. When we get back, this is our debut today. So we're going to go around the NBA, talk about some of the other games that happened, what stuck out to us, what moved us, what didn't, all that and more when we get back. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Model year-end pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the model year-end event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
We are back, Sactown Sports, Stiles and Watkins. First show together, first official show on Chris's birthday. So we're giving a shout out to Chris. So do you have a favorite restaurant? Or I know you said you're not a huge foodie.
Yeah.
When I am. So on the YouTube chat, call in, text in, 916-339-1140. I'm new to Sacramento. What restaurants are good? Help me out. But it's not about me right now. It's about Chris.
Okay.
About Chris.
I like it that way.
Restaurant, like, do you have a favorite meal that you would eat? Or
you're tripping if you think I have any direct answer to any of that. No, I mean, like, there's not really any place in particular where we're like, oh my gosh, like that's our fancy place. You know, we go to Brazilian Steakhouse or whatever, Ruth Chris every time.
Morton's.
Morton's is absolutely. I'm normally like, I mean, I'm super simple, so I'll do like a pizza place, like more of an upscale pizza place. We're not gonna go to Round Table or something.
Shout out Round Table.
But there's a place downtown, or there's a couple different locations. Chicago Fire got good deep dish pizza.
Okay,
a little bit more of like a sit down, kind of pizza place instead of your traditional thing. So that's usually a go-to for me. It just feels simple and easy. And I don't like I shouldn't say I'm not a foodie. I just don't I guess I just don't like spending that much money on really expensive food. There's a time and place, of course, and I love expensive food, but more times than not, I'm always going to opt for like a comfort, maybe like a higher level.
Well, yeah, but being a foodie is not necessarily eating at Michelin star restaurants.
A lot, so
but Michelin star, restaurants, you can find, hey, this place got good taco truck. It's just, to me, a foodie is just about, I put forth effort to find cool places.
Yeah, I would not say I do that. No, definitely not. I find things I like and I usually stick to it. That's generally how
we'll check in tomorrow to see what you ended up doing.
We're learning stuff about both of you right now.
That's right. That's right. And by the way, Chris decided to spend his birthday playing softball. And I'm not judging you, but I'm not judging you.
I just want to say that I have been screaming at my team for like 2 weeks now that I'm not showing up today. And they keep thinking that I'm joking. And I'm kind of not. But I mean, I'm going to show, like, if I don't show up, then we have to forfeit. So it's one of those where I really am like, am I going to make it about myself?
You can play with under 9, right?
Yeah, but the problem is we're playing like the best team and we're probably already going to get killed. And I'm like, if I don't play and we're down, like if we're down a person and we're playing the best team. Unless you're
Manny Ramirez, I don't know if you're playing the best team, if it's going to make a difference.
I promise you it's not going to make a difference. This is what I've been saying, which is why I've been trying to get my entire team to forfeit. But unfortunately, it does seem
so like your solution is to get the whole team to forfeit.
Yeah, so it's not just on me. I'm like, guys, we have an early game. Like, we'll just go and get drinks and have a good time anyway.
Yeah,
but,
if I didn't
it's not my choice.
If I wasn't recovering from my Achilles,
don't worry. Don't worry. You said you played baseball. I was like taking a note. Alan will be our replacement.
I would do it for you. I would do it for you in this situation. And by the way, I got a shout out because again, I'm moving, so I have to switch my physical therapist. And I told them that I would shout them out because they're listening right now in the Bay Area. Golden State Orthopedics. Thank you, Jeff, for the work that you've done.
Bam.
I'm in about the 70th, 80th percentile.
Getting our guy right.
For my recovery.
Come on.
I'm playing golf.
He's trying to be like Aaron Rodgers.
I'm doing my short steps. I'm almost jogging. Actually, when I got back from the airport, Bart goes to the San Francisco airport.
Right.
So because I got delayed, it was rush hour. So I had to take Bart when originally I was just going to call an Uber, just take me back to the island. Couldn't do it. Right. So I had to get on Bart. So I'm going down, and my buddy who tore his Achilles, he's also joked with me about this because he said, it gets to a point where, because I watch a lot of shows where like the world is ending, or if somebody decides they're going to jump you, they don't know your Achilles is messed up and you're recovering.
You're going to get got.
You're going to have to make a decision. Are you going to test this thing out, or are you just going to let it go? So I'm going down the escalator, and I see the doors open for Bart, and it's about to leave. So it was decision time for me. I get down to the escalator, and I like half jogged for the first time, about 3-4 steps.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize my body, you know what I mean? I'm like, I just did that.
Yeah.
So I got on the train. Of course, they closed. And I got on just right out of a movie. And then I was talking to my physical therapist about it. And he said, here's the thing. Your body actually knows where you're at. So for you to have that inclination to run, that's your body. He's like, I wouldn't do it every day, but that's your body telling you that you could do it because a couple weeks ago, you probably wouldn't have did it because I can't
your
do it.
Your body holds itself
so
back.
I'm on my way. I know you golfed.
So this Aaron Rodgers, what I'm hearing is this Aaron Rodgers thing is semi-legit. I mean, he's out there throwing.
He did that bridge procedure. I did not do that. I just did the regular Joe procedure. So I don't know what Aaron Rodgers is on. Okay, the Dolphin sounds. There's a lot going on with Aaron Rodgers that you're not
prescribing to.
I don't know, man. I don't know, and I don't. He's going to be fighting other people. You don't want to get this surgery. Do it this way. So Aaron can do his thing. I'm going to stick to
your road to recovery.
My road to recovery.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to play catch with my kiddos. I'm not trying to, win a
Jets
Super Bowl.
season.
No,
Yeah.
no, I'm not. I'm not trying to do all that. All right, so we talked about it before. We're going to go NBA opening night, and obviously that was a couple days ago and also last night. The only two teams that have not played yet are Bucks Sixers, and they play tonight. That's Dame time and what is it, freak time?
They want to call it freak
it?
time. Yep. It's not great.
I like pool boy and jacuzzi better.
I do too, honestly. I think freak time it's okay. Like I get it, but it's just, I don't know. It doesn't really, it doesn't really hit yet. Maybe you got to see them together to where it's like, okay, this really is freak time. But
no,
it doesn't.
I don't think
I understand
so.
they're
I'm just weirdly not, and I love Dame. He's a Bay boy. Shout out Oakland, but I'm just not really high on the Bucks for some odd reason.
I don't think they're going to be like world beaters like everyone else thinks. I mean, they're going to be one of the best two teams in the Eastern Conference, which is going to lend itself to near 55 to 60 wins. But I don't think that this is going to be like they're standing up on Mount Olympus and looking down on everyone else, like trying to hit up at them. I feel like they're just a really good team that has its own separate set of flaws, but they definitely have a really tough 1-2 punch that a lot of teams just can't match up with.
No, but I mean, what you saw from the Celtics last night and how they just basically turned it on makes you think, and Porzingis showing up too.
My goodness.
I got the Celtics over the Bucks right now. And we're going to sit here and do this, and somehow that Miami Heat and Jimmy Butler's ridiculous picture,
zombie walk.
They're going to be back in the finals somehow because that's just how it's gone. But right now, I'm taking the Celtics over the Bucks. I don't even know how close it is.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to be so interesting when those two teams actually match up, because it's going to be a real battle of styles there. No pun intended there.
No pun intended.
I think it's going to be really interesting to see how those two teams do when they're matched up against each other. Because, again, I think individually those two teams they're going to have their way with most of the competition that they face. But when they go against each other, that's when it's going to be, okay, Porzingis, you looked great last night against the Knicks, but how are you when when you're matched up with Giannis and they really need you to go head to head with Giannis and Drew Holiday how is Drew Holiday going to do going against his former team? How well will he defend Damian Lillard? It's going to be a really intriguing matchup that I cannot wait to see. I mean, this basketball season is definitely shaping up to, just from an entertainment side. I don't know about, top end talent or super teams or anything like that, but just from a night to night competition, there's going to be at least two games. It feels like every night where you're just getting two teams that are just going to go at it. And they're going to be one of the two best teams in the league.
Yeah. Speaking of super teams, the Suns beat the Warriors a couple nights ago, 108-104. Booker was cooking 32 points, and he was questionable. I think he's also questionable tonight when they play the Lakers. Beal. Steph 27, CP3 14. Obviously, no Draymond for the Warriors, but this is what's going to happen with the Warriors, man. I mean, guys are going to miss games, right? So I don't know what to make of the Warriors. We got some Jay Williams sound we're going to play a little bit later, who has a lot to say about the Warriors and the Kings. All right, 119 Nuggets, 107 Lakers, talking about another quote-unquote super team with the Lakers. And surprise, surprise, LeBron is already mad about something. Let's hear from LeBron and what he's complaining about.
I do know I can play point guard too, right? Okay. We got a lot of length. I can play the point with Rui in there or Austin and TP at the 2 and 3. I'm just out there just floating around.
I'm out there just floating around.
So, hey, coach, I don't know if you see, I'm 2-3.
Yeah.
2-3 James.
That's how I feel in life sometimes. I'm out there just floating around. Well, and so that was LeBron talking to
Coach Ham,
Coach Ham about the current setup that they had, and it sounded like he wanted Rui in there. He wanted his guys in there, and he wanted to play point. Right?
Like,
so
get D'Lo out of here.
Get D'Lo up out of here. The preseason god, the preseason warrior, if you will, no pun intended there. But D'Lo, get him out of here. We were talking to Kyle in the pre-show. Laker fans already found their scapegoat for the year. Get him out of here.
They've already traded him to Orlando for like Markelle Fultz and a draft pick.
Just another guy that they're going to build up just to tear down. Laker fans, you just don't stop. Just give it a rest, please. They never do. So LeBron had that to say. Then he's also on the podium, and he's reading off his stats to someone saying, I think I played a pretty good game. I mean, you got to think Adam Silver, he's just so happy with what's going because this stuff just writes themselves.
LeBron is the sun.
LeBron is just going to make sure there is drama at every turn. You got the Bulls who lost one game.
My goodness.
And are already
Poor
having
Billy
a players-only meeting. What are y'all meeting about? You're not good.
When Chris told me that, I thought that was a fake account.
No,
that
it's
can't
real.
be real.
No. What are we meeting about? Guys, we're not mediocre enough. I mean, DeRozan, he was supposed to get moved on to about, he's been traded to, there's got to be a list of the top 10 players that have been hypothetically traded throughout their careers. DeRozan is top 5.
DeRozan's top 5. Jaylen Brown has snuck into the conversation before getting signed.
Nets, Brooke Lopez is the king of this game.
Yeah,
Brooke Lopez.
Jay Crowder always.
Jay Crowder.
Yusuf Nurkic for a bunch of years. He finally got traded.
CJ McCollum for a really long time.
You know.
Terrence Ross.
Yeah.
Terrence Ross. So there's a list, and I know that DeRozan on top of it. I mean, even Zach LaVine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because, and he's a guy, I have no clue what to do with you, Zach LaVine.
Yeah.
No clue.
Yeah.
I don't know what you are. All I know is that you're a really good dunker.
He likes to score a lot, and he's got crazy athleticism, and he gets paid a ton. That's about all that I can tell you about Zach LaVine in terms of him as a basketball player, because we've not seen Zach LaVine in a winning basketball situation, especially not with him being the head of the snake of that operation.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't imagine what they're meeting about, but it's never a great sign when game 1 out of 82, the players feel the need to talk it out extensively without the coach.
No, and hopefully, I guess maybe DeRozan's daughter wasn't there to yell at the free throw line and mess some people up. So I don't know what's going there. Got to get to a break. When we get back, we're going to continue to go around the NBA and all these opening games. Your thoughts, your calls, all that and more. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
What's the latest with the San Francisco 49ers? Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross keep you up to date on all things red and gold during the Niners at 9 every weekday at 9 a.m. on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Shop Folsom Lake Kia for all your favorite models at low prices and payments, plus low finance rates and zero down deals with approved credit. Go see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 20 years.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Ready for a sizzling football season? Take your game day parties to the next level with Napoleon Prestige Grills from Green Acres Nursery and Supply. Fire up the grill and score big with mouth-watering burgers, juicy steaks, and finger-licking wings. Napoleon Prestige Grills bring the heat and come complete with a lifetime warranty. Get your ultimate game day companion today. Visit your local Green Acres Nursery and Supply and elevate your tailgate experience with Napoleon Prestige Grills. Green Acres Nursery and Supply, your one-stop shop for grilling greatness this football season. Visit iDateGreenAcres.com for the store near you. Game on.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you find the right customers. Spread awareness of your product or services. We can help build trust in your brand and services with a digital marketing campaign. Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing campaigns that deliver results. Don't wait. Get started today. Contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles, drugstore insoles, custom insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet. And the Good Feet arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
I wanted to make sure that I got something that my feet felt good in, not somebody else's feet. I love the fact that I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes. I have boots, I have cowboy boots, I have running shoes, I have walking shoes, I have flat shoes, I have heels. It makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Knee, hip, foot, leg, or back pain? Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Today is the Sac Jobs Career Fair. Go over during your lunch if you want that better job. Today at the Lionsgate Hotel at McCollum Park off of Watt Avenue. Tons of employers are looking to hire. Again, it's today starting at 11 a.m. from sacjobs.com.
At Elk Grove Honda, we see every Honda buyer as a member of the family, so we make sure every certified pre-owned Honda is one we would buy from ourselves. At Elk Grove Honda, we include many benefits that a private seller just can't match. Our Honda-trained technicians only certify our Hondas if they pass a thorough 182-point inspection, and our certified pre-owned Hondas are under 5 years old. So you know you're getting the newest Hondas in prime condition. See our exceptional selection of certified pre-owned Hondas in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good morning, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter. These are your Sactown Sports headlines. The Sacramento Kings are 1-0. 130-114 was the final score against Utah last night. Harrison Barnes, he had 27 first-half points. The Kings set a franchise opening night record with 13 first-half three-pointers. 8 different Kings made a three-point shot. Frankie Cardicelli has a super in-depth breakdown of game number 1 that you can read at sactownsports.com. Brock Purdy is unlikely to play for the 49ers while he goes through the NFL's concussion protocol this week. Deebo Samuel has already been ruled out for the Niners game on Sunday. And it's homecoming night for Sacramento State football this Saturday versus the Idaho State Bengals. Kickoff is at 6 o'clock p.m. Come early and enjoy the festivities. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com. Those are your headlines. Let's return to more of Stiles and Watkins here on Sactown Sports.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
We are back, Sactown Sports. One more segment until the debut. Just a bunch of debuts today. Chris is debuting a new age because it's his birthday. Debut of Stiles and Watkins. Okay, 10 a.m., 2 p.m. every single day. It's got to be nice. It's got to be nice if you are a Sactown Sports fan, if you have been listening. You know, you got a new show. We're really excited what we have going for all the listeners. We're giving this our all. I know a lot of you have been rocking with Chris Watkins, Chris and Co. A lot of different guys have kind of come through, and Chris has done a great job. He's like a chameleon. You know, Chris can change his colors and change his spots, everything he needs to do. But we found a home. We found a show. We're very excited about it. So thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of the show. And like I said, debut, we have one more segment, and then we're coming back 11:45. Beaming or dreaming? Line up the calls. Beaming or dreaming? Are you feeling what you're seeing, or are you dreaming about it? That's what we need to know. And before the break, we were talking about very tradable players who are always in trade. The top, you know, you ever fire up the trade machine?
All the time.
All the time.
All the time.
And we have a good one here from the YouTube chat, Pascal Siakam. That is a great one. I'm trying to see. I see we responded. Pike 916 Pascal. But that's a great one. He has been hypothetically traded 8,000 times. But
Him
it
and
is,
OG.
But it is an OG. And it's weird because Toronto in general, just, you know, they're sticking to it. We're not going to move him. We're not moving him. But also, what's your plan? It's almost like they just didn't want to change it out of spite for the fact that people, because that's basically saying you need to start over. And they're just refusing to start over.
Yeah. I mean, they really should have blown this thing up when Kawhi Leonard left. I mean, and they kind of slowly have been doing it. You know, they lose Kyle Lowry, and then, you know, this past offseason, they lose Fred VanVleet. They lose Nick Nurse as well. And, you know, it feels like they're kind of, I should say it feels like they're starting to lean more towards youth. But even then, Masai doesn't seem to be budging at all on these Pascal or the OG trades. And I think OG is young enough to where you can convince yourself he's young enough to really stick with this core. But, you know, Pascal Siakam, there's really no reason why he should be on this team. Like, he's a guy who's been all third team All NBA twice, I think 2 seasons in a row now. He's got value. He can definitely contribute to a winning situation. Get him out of there. Get as many assets as you could possibly get and just lean into the rebuild. Like you've got some good young pieces. You got Scotty Barnes. You draft Grady Dick last year, and Messiah has just done a great job of finding talent out of nowhere. Anyway, I think you got to move on from him, get as many assets as you can, and get that rebuild underway. Because in the East, if you're going to have a guy like Pascal Siakam and have OG Anunoby and have Scotty Barnes, you're going to mess around and win 40 games and never really be in that true lottery contention,
Yeah, and especially for a city like Toronto, I could see if you're New York and one of these big cities where there's so much pressure and you just don't have time, or people are going to be on your head if you don't, if you're not competing for a championship. But in this situation, and this is no disrespect to Toronto, I think you'd be fine.
Yes,
I think
nobody would be. You already got a ring.
No.
Like they're living high.
I mean, honest, and the Vikings just beat the Niners, but it is kind of similar. It's just those teams that are stuck, right?
Yes,
I mean,
very much so.
They're just stuck a little bit.
So Toronto is basketball Minnesota Vikings. That's what I'm
close. I think the Vikings are a little bit better than Toronto. Toronto's almost the Raiders. They're better. They're better than the Vikings. They're better. No,
watch your words here.
No, the Vikings are better than the Raptors.
There we go.
They're somewhere between the Vikings and the Raiders.
Okay, so they're basketball Indianapolis Colts.
Sure.
Maybe.
Maybe. I think we're splitting hairs.
916-339-1140. Let's go to the call lines. David wants to talk Kings. What's up, David? You're on Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys.
Absolutely.
So there's a lot to talk about, obviously, but the thing that stuck out to me is the biggest difference maker, I think, at this point is going to be Duarte. The way he plays and what he adds off the bench, I think if we had him in the series against the Warriors last year, we would have definitely taken it.
I like that.
No, I like that. Thanks for the call, David. And Duarte yesterday.
He was great yesterday.
Yeah. He was literally 9 points, right? Three fouls, but again, defensively, you know what I mean? He's getting in there.
Yeah.
3 for 4 from 3-ball land.
Yeah, I mean that those last two numbers are the biggest ones for Duarte. The 3 of 4 from 3, obviously, like his offense is especially his shooting ability is going to be something that this team will gladly take. I stupidly wondered in the offseason, like, can you have too much shooting possibly? Is that a thing? What does that mean if you have too much shooting? And I think we've seen that it just means that you just have more and more options of guys who can hit threes, because Duarte hit one yesterday, hand in his face. He was sitting in the corner and just splashed it. Like he took a little jab step, let the defender get in his face.
I know exactly which one you're talking about.
It didn't matter.
He
absolutely laced it. He hit one from the top of the key. It was great to see. It's another guy that, when you think about the Kings shooters just flying around the perimeter, it's another guy that can do that, but at the same time bring that defensive intensity that you might not get from a guy like Malik Monk or Kevin Huerter to point out who he's really been linked with the most. Like, he could really contend for that starting spot, because he does bring a defensive edge that those other guys don't bring. And if you're not losing a lot in the shooting department, or if you can maybe even argue you might, with how Kevin's shooting right now, you might be gaining a little bit in the shooting department. There's not really a reason not to play him if he's going to look as calm and comfortable as what he did yesterday. And we didn't even see the two-man game with Sabonis that we heard so much about when we first acquired him. So I completely agree was that Steven? David. I'm sorry, Steven was the first call. David. I think Duarte was excellent yesterday, and I think that could be a huge addition to this team if he can show like what he showed yesterday.
916-339-1140. Let's go to Mitch from New Jersey. What's up, Mitch? You're on Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Chris, congratulations on the show. Good luck.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Mitch.
Well, you don't have weekends. I'll be being selfish that way. I think it's the deepest Kings team ever. I was surprised at Harrison Barnes, but he almost matched the opening day points. But it's a two-way sword. He can look good for Trey. We don't have to do that much. It's a very competitive Western. So you improve the team, I guess you go ahead. I wish they had went out for that Beal trade. I wish that was possible, and I'm going to miss Jimmy Metu. But it's just, because he's a USC guy. I just think the team is just really good. It's going to be a tough year, but we'll make the playoffs, stay away from the play-in, and I'm happy with last night.
Great.
Thanks for the call, Mitch. Yeah. I mean, look, we talk about Bradley Beal actually is another name, trade generator.
Yes. Big time. Was thrown in just about every trade you could, but the problem was his money was just too much. And I think that's where the Kings conversation kind of stopped as well. They were like, we'd love to acquire the talent, especially for what I believe he was traded for was pennies on the dollar, but I think he makes like $35 to $40+ million a year, and it's like you can't really justify bringing that big of a salary in.
No, and I don't know that you need to. That's not really
That's not a weak point.
That's not a weak point
either.
because he's not doing anything defensively either. So I don't. It would have been nice, but I don't think that. To be completely honest with you, if Keegan takes a step, I don't know how much of a gap, and maybe I'm being disrespectful to Bradley Beal, but Bradley Beal's older. He ain't even playing yet. The guy has been shady injured lately,
very
right?
much
He's not, so I think I don't mind that. If we were talking about a 3-and-D wing guy, that might be different. But Bradley Beal, I think the Kings were kind of cool off that. And look, as we go around the NBA and we look at the Lakers, right? When you talk about too much shooting, I think it's a good point. I don't think the Kings suffer from it because the Kings have an identity. We sat here, not we, but everybody sat here, the Lakers. The Lakers, to me, they have a bunch of dudes, but what's their identity? It's going to take them half the season to figure out who's going to play with who. And then it's going to take them more games to figure out what their identity is. LeBron wants to be point guard. Darvin-Ham's got him at the 4. You got guys
AD doesn't want to play center, but he has to play center.
You have guys that really are trying to Austin Reeves cooked more when D'Lo wasn't on the team, and then you bring D'Lo back, and now D'Lo's scapegoat. You got some guys that can defend. Rui Hachimura, he wants an elevated role. He's pulling all the time. So the Kings don't have that. The Kings know it's better to know what your issues are. That doesn't mean, I had an old boss, right? And he would just always cut people off. Like he's one of those guys that would try to guess what you were going to say and be completely wrong because you can't read my mind. And we just started the conversation. But he knew it. And he would say, I'm sorry, I'm working on it, trying to not cut people off. He never got better, but he at least knew what the issue was. He knew what his faults were. So the Kings, the same thing. We got to get better defensively. That's really it, right? And if we the first step is acknowledgement. So they've acknowledged it. So can you just get a little bit better? And to be honest, my boss, he did get a little bit better. He still would cut me off, and not just me, he cut everybody off. But as I never called him out. I think some other people did. But as he, had to work with people that came in new to the company, he had to get a little bit better, and he just got the middle of the road cut off. Right? He wouldn't cut you off every single time. So if the Kings can do that, I think that would really help. All right, got to get to a break. We're still going around the NBA, but it is time. Line them up, 916-339-1140. Let me just explain it real quick. Beaming or dreaming? It's very simple. Beaming means you think the Kings got a shot at the whole thing based on what you saw from a game. We're going to do this every time the Kings have a big game. Dreaming is if the Kings getting the title is in your dreams. Are you beaming or dreaming? I ask Chris, I ask Kyle, and I ask you when we return. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
The 49ers Report, brought to you by EB Stone. EB Stone, for the life of your garden. Another heartbreaking loss on the road for the 49ers, dropping their second game of the season to Minnesota, 22-17. Quarterback Kirk Cousins torched the 49ers defense for 378 passing yards, a season high allowed by the Red and Gold. The 49ers had a chance to win the game late, but two costly fourth-quarter interceptions by Brock Purdy doomed the team to the loss. The Red and Gold will look to bounce back in Week 8, hosting Cincinnati at Levi Stadium.
With over 100 years as a family-owned company, EB Stone's learned a few things about making plants grow. Start a healthy family hobby with indoor planting with EB Stone's Edna's Best Indoor and Outdoor Potting Soil to help your little plants grow into the perfect indoor plant for the kids and family to enjoy. EB Stone's Indoor and Outdoor Potting Soil is perfectly blended with all the important ingredients you need to create that perfect indoor and outdoor plant or garden. EB Stone, for the life of your garden. Visit ebstone.org for more gardening tips, products, and...
It's amazing how a short drive can make an incredible difference when you buy a Mercedes-Benz. Family-owned Mercedes-Benz of Stockton invites you to take advantage of a special certified pre-owned Mercedes finance rate of 3.09% for up to 36 months. October is a great month to consider buying a pre-owned Mercedes. See why our customers come back year after year, generation after generation. Your best Mercedes-Benz car buying experience ever awaits you at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. mbofstockton.com.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
Individual rates, offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all states and situations.
Hey, small business owner. Are you ready to have the best year ever in 2024? When's the last time you checked your workers' comp rate? For many small businesses, workers' comp insurance is one of their biggest costs. But Pi Insurance could save you up to 30% in just 3 minutes. Go to trypi.com, share a few details about your business, and get a quote that's customized for your business. No hassles or hidden fees. We know you're busy, but spending just a few minutes to check your rate could make this your best year ever. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote at trypi.com. That's trypie.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Day for my good friends at Fire Wings with some bullet points for you to remember so you can be a professional fire wing eater. Like Wings Day Wednesday, 88-cent wings each and every Wednesday. 3 flavor lineup includes 7 classic wing flavors, 7 dry rub wing flavors, 7 fusion wing flavors. It's the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. Go to firewings.com or download the app, find a location near you, order online, earn rewards. Fire Wings, just wing it.
It's the model year-end sales event at Acura of Stockton. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Lease a new Acura RDX or MDX. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton or AcuraofStockton.com, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips.
The City of Sacramento offers grass conversion rebates to help you replace your thirsty lawn with a naturally water-efficient landscape. Whether you own a home or business in Sacramento, you may be eligible. Learn more at sacwaterwise.com.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
We are back. Sactown Sports. Any way you want it, that's how you're going to get it. And that's a little bit of Harrison Barnes right there. And also Malik Monk with that dunk on Chris Dunn. Sorry, Chris Dunn, but this is the most you've been talking about in a while, so you should love it. In a very long time. You should love it. All right, the time has come. First show.
Yep.
First segment. Beaming or dreaming?
Okay.
And I see you already on the YouTube chat. Beaming, that's his name.
Yep.
Or her name. Clearly beaming. So thank you for that. Beaming on the YouTube chat. You got the text line as well. They're beaming. Everybody's beaming
Love
right
that.
now. So
Love
again, beaming means you think that based on what you saw, the Kings could win the big one.
Okay.
Okay. Bring a title.
Yep.
I'm talking about confetti, purple, black, white, gray,
Parade,
confetti.
everything.
In Sacramento.
Oh, boy.
All right. Or are you just dreaming? Meaning what you saw was nice, but I'm still dreaming of that title. So I asked my co-host, the birthday boy, the birthday bizzle, are you beaming or are you dreaming?
A lot of people out there are expecting me to be dreaming, you know?
Oh.
It's
I want a wet blanket each for drop.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what you expect from me. I think I'm beaming a little bit.
Wow.
After night one, after hearing, Michael Wilbon a couple weeks ago, got some other people talking up the Kings a little. I watched opening night. You watch the Lakers just like you said last segment, don't really have an identity, don't quite know where they're at. You see the Warriors struggling. Steph Curry gets into foul trouble. Phoenix kind of lets the Warriors in that game.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have Bradley Beal or Devin Booker tonight, already having some injury concerns. I'm just saying there's a chance, man. Like with the depth of this team, I'm not saying I would pick them as favorites or anything like that. I don't know if I even really believe that there's a chance that they can win or reach a title this year, but I feel like I'm more positive than ever that's even a possibility, if that makes sense. Like it wasn't even in the realm of possibility for me 2 weeks ago. And now after watching the ball being rolled out there and seeing how everybody looks and looking at the pieces and how they come together, they got a chance. They absolutely have a chance. Now, when push comes to shove and the Kings have to go against Jokic and Denver, do they have an answer for that? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so, but and they got to go through those things first, and you got to kind of lose before you win. That's kind of how the league works, but I feel like this team there's definitely a universe where maybe some things go wrong for a team like Denver, maybe some injuries happen to some of these older teams to where the doors open wide open the doors open up wide for the Kings to just kind of walk through and really have a chance to make some noise in the Western Conference Finals. So I don't know if they're going to be a title, a serious title contender, but man, I could really see a really perfect season this year where they make the Western Conference Finals.
Wow. Chris Watkins.
Yeah.
His birthday beaming.
Yep.
Steaming Willie beaming.
It feels good.
That's Chris Watkins. All right, Kyle, are you beaming or dreaming?
So beaming in this sense is that the Kings will improve from last year. They might make a Western Conference Finals. You said NBA Finals.
Yeah, it's got to be high.
I had to push back on
it's
the
gotta,
NBA.
It's got to be, because I feel like dreaming, you can't say beaming and say they're a second round out, right?
But is second round out dreaming then?
No, I think that's probably what people like. I think 8 out of 10 people or 7 out of 10 people would say they are expecting or want a second round appearance. So I would say further than second round appearance.
Further than second round.
So conference finals or finals appearance.
Okay, so in that sense, we've got the.
Oh, wow, that's disrespectful.
Slumber.
We're putting it to sleep, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be the downer or the wet blanket on the show right now.
Okay.
I said at the start of the year, 4 to 6 in seed in the West is where I think they are, and one game's not going to move me off that position.
Okay.
So,
hey,
game 1 is not the time for rationality, Kyle.
I appreciate
I'm aware.
That. Now, before I give my answer, we're going to flip this a little bit so Kyle can turn off the lullaby because we have someone nationally, all the disrespect that the Kings get, we have someone nationally that is definitely beaming. Let's hear from Jay Williams on First Take and how he
Denver
is beaming.
is the favorite. We all know that. Yes. Sacramento got the best odds, in my opinion, to contend for a championship more than any other team in the Western Conference other than Denver.
Other than Denver?
Other than Denver.
That's it?
Sacramento
over both LA squads?
Yes.
And Phoenix?
Yes.
Drug test. Don't be disrespectful.
Did he say drug test at
That's
the end?
all he
always does.
Which I love because the other day when Jalen McDaniels signed his contract with the Timberwolves, the only thing I thought in my head, like I don't know why I've never said this out loud or anything, but I think it was 5 years, $135 million, and reefer. That's the only word that came across my head. It's just reefer, because those guys, I don't know what they're on, but they must be on something crazy for that contract. But
I know.
I love to hear it. I love to hear Kings getting some national love. I love the fact that Jay Williams isn't afraid to go out there and put his neck out there, because definitely it's not going to be a popular position to say that the Kings are going to have that success. You're definitely, if things don't go right, you're going to have that thrown in your face all year. So shout out Jay Williams for going out on a limb. I don't know if he believes it. I don't know if I believe it, but shout out for him for going on national TV and saying it.
And we have our first caller in the beaming or dreaming segment now, because we got to break these ties that's going on. I haven't said mine yet, but we have beaming. We got Kyle over here dreaming. What do you say, Ken? Let's get to Ken right here, Stiles and Watkins. Give it to us, Ken.
Hold on. Hey, that lullaby guy, take his microphone away right now. He cannot even speak for the rest of the show.
Wow.
He ain't say nothing.
Wow.
Ken, I'm your guy. Come on. Don't do that to me.
No, you are, man. But, hey, man, the eye test I saw last night, we still averaging 130, and the bench is looking good. Hey, man, we look amazing. And I was watching First Take today, and I was listening to Jay. I'm like, he's talking that talk. Because what you see on the floor, man, is a product of a good Western Conference team.
Yeah.
Hey, man, if you look at all the other teams, like you said, Denver, of course, because they got Jokic, the Joker, of course. But everybody else, hey, man, we slapping them up. The first person we go slap up is the Golden State Warriors, man.
Ooh.
Stand by and watch. So I am beaming.
Yes, sir.
Dreaming? Why would I be dreaming? Why? I'm wide awake. Talk to me, baby.
Wow. Call of the show.
Come on.
Thank you, Ken.
Come on.
I think Ken convinced Kyle. He's beaming, too.
Come on.
How could you not be beaming?
I mean, I'm smiling.
There
this
you
is the
go.
most fun I've had in a while.
Thank you, Ken. Beaming or dreaming. All right. Got to get to a break. When we get back, we will talk about what was real from game one and what was fake. Beaming or dreaming, have them coming in, keep them coming in. We'll keep it going on the show. And if you feel like calling, if you're just a little tardy, that's all good. 916-339-1140. Beaming or dreaming for the rest of the show.
Stop it, Kyle.
The 916 gives a shout out on the text line. Happy birthday, Chris Watkins.
Yes, sir.
Let's keep it going. What was real, what was fake from game one? Got to get to a break. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Some nights just mean more. Friday night at Golden One Center, your Sacramento Kings play their home opener against the Golden State Warriors.
Two-hand flush off the bounce thrown down by Davion Mitchell.
With memories of a classic first-round battle, these two Northern California rivals hook up for the first time this season.
And the Kings defense again creating an open floor opportunity.
Kings, Warriors, the home opener, Friday night at 7 on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports, and the Sactown Sports app.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Does your dog leave frowny piles of poo around the yard? Do you know that a solid poo is one of the best indicators of your dog's gut health? Supreme Source Super Premium Dog Food is made with organic super seaweed and other powerful antioxidants, supporting a healthy digestive system. Real protein is always the first ingredient, plus a blend of essential vitamins and minerals that help support your dog's overall health and well-being. Do their digestion a solid, literally. Find Supreme Source Premium Dog Food at Safeway, Save Mart, and Winco, or a local grocery store near you.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com. What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. What is happening, Chad, for Ram Power Days?
The biggest sale of the year with up to $12,000 off MSRP on all new 2023 Ram 1500 Bighorn and Laramie Crew cabs. Or save up to $6,000 off MSRP and get thousands more with 0% financing for 72 months.
So pretty much all your Rams are on sale and 0% financing?
That's what makes us different. Hoblet is always looking out for you, which is why we have up to $8,000 off MSRP on new 2023 Ram 2500 Crew cabs too. And with over 500 Rams available, we're sure to have your perfect truck at California's #1 Ram truck dealer.
Wow, these deals can't last long. See their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
12,000 total net savings after 6,000 factory rebates and 6,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include $1,000 loyalty bonus cash for current owners of Stellantis brand vehicle and $1,000 case construction cash. Must have purchased eligible case equipment from qualifying dealer. Or take 0% financing for 72 months plus 6,000 dealer discounts. Offer on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. Must have 700 plus FICO score to qualify. 0% for 72 months equals $1,389 per thousand borrowed. 8,000 total net savings after 3,000 factory rebates and 5,000 dealer discounts. Rebates may include $1,000 case construction and 500 first responder bonus cash for current members of eligible first responder association. 10 of each offer. See dealer for details.
Hey y'all, this is Bill with the Good Guys. Call Good Guys Heating and Cooling now. Tired of overpriced repairs? Call the Good Guys. Jaw-dropping quote for a new HVAC system? Call the Good Guys. Don't trust the other guys. Call the Good Guys. We offer free second opinions. Family owned and operated, always ready to serve the community. We offer the best service, best price, guaranteed. And that's no bull.
Call 530-GOOD-AIR. License number 1057-618.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Born in 1892 to a socially prominent family, she was the consummate athlete, proficient in golf, tennis, marksmanship, swimming, and car racing. Many considered her the greatest horsewoman of the century. She was a pioneer in the field of golf course development with 3 world-class courses on her resume: the Women's National Golf and Tennis Club, Cypress Point, and Pasatiempo. Working for SFB Morse of Pebble Beach fame led to her second golf course development, which many consider to be the greatest golf course in the world, Cypress Point, where she developed a lifelong friendship and professional relationship with famed architect Alistair McKenzie. Pasatiempo in Santa Cruz was her third development, where she hosted the likes of Bobby Jones, Will Rogers, Babe Saharias, and more. Today, her place is alongside many others in the World Golf Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Marion Hollins, a visionary golf course architect and pioneer of the game. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
The game of football is about pain. Ever since I was 5 years old, it's been all about football. It's been about running, jumping, blocking, tackling. I stopped playing at 31.
You're listening to Michael Robinson, retired pro fullback.
I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life. I'm so glad I met Good Feet. I'm so glad that those arch supports are in my shoes. I had terrible foot issues that prevented me from really having a normal life with my kids. With the Good Feet arch supports, man, I'm always ready. My kids actually got to enjoy me in the yard more, racing each other, backpedaling, teaching them some things, being a dad. If I had known about the Good Feet arch support earlier, I would have more than one championship. I would have 2 championship rings.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level. Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good afternoon, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter. These are your Sactown Sports headlines. With a 130-114 victory, the Sacramento Kings are 1-0 to start the season. The Kings had 8 different players hit a three-pointer, and they set a franchise opening night record with 13 first-half three-pointers. Frankie Cardicelli has an in-depth breakdown of Game 1 you can read at SactownSports.com. And Brennan Nunez has his 4 takeaways from the game that you can also check out at SactownSports.com. Brock Purdy is unlikely to play Sunday for the San Francisco 49ers, going through the concussion protocol. Deebo Samuel has already been ruled out for the game. And it's homecoming night for Sacramento State football this Saturday versus the Idaho State Bengals. Kickoff is at 6 o'clock p.m. Come early and enjoy the festivities. Get your tickets at HornetSports.com. Those are your headlines. Let's return to Stiles and Watkins.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
Had to let it drop. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking it to 2 p.m. Great time last segment. Thank you. And I'm getting texts from my buddies. They're all beaming, and they're Warriors fans, so they're beaming. They're feeling good about it. Jay Williams, we played that sound last segment. He's beaming. He thinks it's Kings and Nuggets to win the West. Woo! And I don't know if he's being Mr. Hot Take. I don't know. But on a day like today, it doesn't matter.
Don't care.
It doesn't matter. All right, we had callers come in. They had it going. They're all beaming. There was only one man, one person not beaming so far.
Wasn't me.
And he's on the 1s and 2s, Kyle. But I appreciate you keeping it real, keeping it true. You got to do it.
Yeah,
you got to do
I'm
it.
anti-sports radio. No instant reaction. I'm going to stick with the prediction that I made at the start of the season.
Every good show needs that, though.
But that's
you know
normally
what I mean?
Chris, right?
See,
That's
but
normally my
but
role.
I'm infiltrating Chris, and it's his birthday. It's his birthday.
I can't be held liable for anything.
Exactly,
that I say today.
and it's the first show.
Yeah.
The vibes are right. I'm sure Chris will come in. I'm gonna come in
just wait for
after.
the
Watch, it's gonna be Monday.
Oh.
Kings are gonna
3 games in the
beat
books,
the Warriors,
it's a wrap for everybody.
maybe lose to the Lakers, beat the Lakers 3-0. I'm going to say, I want you to highlight the parade route.
Mhm.
Just highlight the parade route so I can walk with
I'm
you.
going to say they're not even making the
By
play.
that time, I'll probably be able to jog. Maybe I'll jog the parade route. I can do a lot of things, all right? But part of the beaming or dreaming is based on what we saw from last night and what was real about it and what was fake.
Mhm.
So what were your initial thoughts on what was real and fake? I think the things that stick out that were negative, because it's about that time in the show where we say, okay, we've talked a lot about the positives here. Yep. Let's get into where the Kings could be better. We talked about De'Aaron Fox's shooting, 1 for 7. That's not going to cut it, brother.
Yep.
It's just not going to cut it when you get up against teams that are going to dare you. And we've talked about being on that island.
Yeah.
And it's a lonely place when someone says, please shoot.
Yeah.
I would love for you to shoot this basketball. De'Aaron is a guy who, if you have a hand in his face, he's a competitor. He'll put it in, but you start getting left on an island like they do Ja Morant, and I'm not being disrespectful, but they do Draymond too.
Right.
It's tough out here. It's tough to come back. So you got that. You have Kevin Huerter. He has not been Kevon in a very long time. I'm still looking for Kevon Huerter. Not seeing him. He's just Kevin these days. And then you have a guy that I know it seems like we're picking on him a bit, and it's not the case, even though it seems like it, Davion Mitchell. And, you know, you talked about Mike Brown, hey, get in his chest. Dude, you're doing that against Colin Sexton. You're just drawing fouls.
Yeah.
What are you doing? And I get it, but I also don't, right? Because we know what Colin Sexton wants to do. He wants to get to the cup and get to the free throw line. So those are the 3 things that were negative. Now from that, how much of that is real? How much of that is fake?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really concerned about Davion's defense. The shooting to me is something that I'm concerned with. I'm not overly scared by it at this moment in time because of how well he shot during the preseason. And I'm not saying that's definitely going to transfer over to the regular season, but it seems like he's made some real progress with his jump shot and the fact he goes 0 of 3 from the field, 0 of 2 from 3 yesterday. I don't think that's what he wanted to put out there on tape, but I think that's just going to be something much like De'Aaron's shot. We're just going to have to watch evolve throughout this season. I think it's going to come and go. I think you said it with De'Aaron earlier. Some nights he'll be able to hit them. Some nights it's just not going to be there. Yeah. And it's on nights where it's not going to be there that they're going to have to, more specifically, Davion's going to have to figure out where he can make his impact, because you're right to point out yesterday, didn't really feel the Davion defensive impact that you were hoping to feel every single night from him. So if he's not shooting and he's not playing defense or the defense that we've come accustomed to seeing, what is he really giving you? It was good to see him finish with 4 assists. I didn't really notice much of him in that playmaker role. I'm glad to see the number is there, but I think he's got to figure out if it's not shooting, he's got to be able to distribute, and he's got to bring the defense. It's got to be 2 things have to be clicking for Davion every single night. And I think last night we kind of saw nothing click for him. So I don't think that's here to stay. The Kevin Huerter struggles, if anything's going to stay, I would pick that as the thing that might not ever switch. He really struggled during the preseason. Obviously his postseason struggles were very well chronicled. Shots just are not going in. And you could argue with shooters, it's a make or miss league. You know, you go through months where you shoot 50%, you go through months where you shoot 25%, and then it ends up averaging out to 40, 35, whatever it is. Right now, it's just not looking like Kevin Huerter's getting the same looks that he was last year. And I think it started to affect his confidence. He's just not hunting shots the same way he was before. And I think he's looking to kind of slowly get into a rhythm. And I feel like with him, it's got to be in the flow of things. I think he's got to be going full speed, because the second things slow down for you as a shooter, the second you're not shooting in rhythm and you're taking jump shots and you're thinking about your shot and you're thinking about your hitch and everything, you're thinking about your struggles, that's when you're going to struggle the most. And I haven't seen Kevin Huerter really have that comfort, that flow state, if you will, on the basketball floor in a really long time. And with the competition, pressure makes diamonds, or it'll completely crumble you. And I think it's going to be interesting to see in these next couple weeks. Like, the pressure is definitely on Kevin Huerter right now. How is he going to respond with Chris Duarte breathing right down his neck. Like it might not be as cut and dry as, oh yeah, we're going to take some minutes away from Kevin. He only played 23 last night. There's a chance that if they insert Duarte into that starting lineup, they give Malik Monk more minutes. I'm not saying Kevin Huerter won't be stepping off the bench, but there's a chance he's only getting like 10 or so minutes on a given night. So I think things can turn really, really quickly if things continue to go south for Kevin and continue to go north for guys like Duarte.
Life is about evolution.
Yep.
And, as good of a season as the Kings had last season, they want to be better.
Yep.
And if you're not helping us get better, you're helping us be worse. Mm-hmm. And it's a cold world, and I don't mean to put it out there. I see Jess on the YouTube chat saying that Kevin will be okay, guys. Well, when?
Yeah.
I just want to know when. I know it's game one, but it's been going on for a while. You have, to your point, a Chris Duarte who plays better defense. And again, one game sample besides the preseason. He went 3 for 4 from 3-ball land.
Yep.
So I'm a better defender than you, and I'm shooting the rock better than you.
Yep.
So what is it exactly that you do here?
Exactly.
If you're not making shots, Kevin Huerter, what is it exactly that you do here?
Yep.
And maybe he'll figure it out.
Yep.
But it's not just Duarte. If I know the feeling, it's similar to baseball, right? When a team drops 15 runs and there's always one guy with an offer, one guy who did not get a hit. And that's how Kevin Huerter felt, right? Because you got Vezenkov, then guys that you feel like you're better than. Everybody, the ball is a beach ball to everybody else. But Vezenkov comes in, he's splashing his first three.
JaVale's out here.
JaVale's out here. Everybody's just feeling it. And Kevin's sitting over here just like, man, when is it my turn?
Yeah.
It's my turn now. That's what he's thinking in his mind. And he's trying.
It's my turn.
It's my turn now. You told me it was my turn. And that's what Kevin Huerter's thinking. But look, you're going to have you are going to not by default, by what you've done so far.
Yes,
you're going to have the opportunity, man.
Absolutely.
But this is a situation where it's not just you. Mm-hmm. Everybody's on high alert. Mike Brown said there are only two established starters. He said that during preseason. We didn't necessarily believe him, but we believed that he wanted people to feel it. So it's not just you. If you are not doing your job, if you are not doing what people have paid you to do, and specifically, and you are in a more of a categorized role, and you can't make it happen, it's no disrespect. I'm sure he gets that. He's not out here trying to miss, but at some point, you got to put it together. So I think at this point, because of preseason, I think that's real. I think Davion defensively, I think that was fake. I think he's a good defender. I think last night he just had a lot going on. And unfortunately, right now, that 1 for 7 from De'Aaron,
I think that's real.
Probably real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree. I think the shot is just De'Aaron's shot is something that it's a work in progress, if you will. And we're going to have good nights. We're going to have, honestly, I think the biggest thing is, and I don't have a problem on watching the game. I didn't have a problem with the number of threes he took, but for the most part, I don't want to see De'Aaron taking 7 threes. And I have no problem with what he took yesterday because he was open on a majority, if not all of those shots. And if you have an open look, absolutely take it. I don't care if it's Domantas Sabonis or maybe not JaVale McGee, but anybody else can shoot it if they're open. But more times than not, I would like to see De'Aaron maybe not, especially if the shot isn't falling. Just don't take that many threes.
No, and that's why it almost got to a point where it was, are you doing this on purpose? Are you trying to make it are you working through something?
Yeah.
Don't do that tomorrow. No. You can't work through things tomorrow. I am interested to see
the level of intensity tomorrow.
Man, and my first time in the arena, right? Seeing the Kings in Sacramento, I'm ready to go.
Yeah,
I'm ready to go.
I think a big thing tomorrow too is going to be the defensive intensity because a lot was made last year of the home and road defensive splits. I think the Kings were 8th in defensive rating on the road and 29th in defensive rating at home.
They're just trying to shoot the rock.
Well, they essentially said the fans give us energy, and so sometimes we come out not with the appropriate amount of energy because we know the fans are going to give us some, and on the road they had to create their own. And which I don't love. That feels a lot like an excuse and not a reason to me. But I think that's going to be interesting to see night one against the Warriors, trying to set the tone, trying to make a statement. Are they going to come out like with their hair on fire defensively? And will that continue throughout the game? Or, will they be too ramped up even? Are they going to try too hard to make a statement? I think tomorrow's going to tell us a lot about just how this team's going to attack the hunter side, or the is that correct? Yes, the hunter side, because I think we talked about how the Kings are going to juggle this being hunted because there's going to be teams like the Jazz and OKC are going to look up at the Kings and say, we want to be what you were last year. But there's also still a couple teams where the Kings have to show the Warriors, the Lakers, the Nuggets, maybe the Suns to an extent, like, we're in the same category, if not better than you as well. And so seeing how they're going to approach mentally going into a game where they feel like we want to make a statement against these guys and we have to show on all aspects that we're a better team than you. I cannot wait for tomorrow and for Sunday as well.
Got to get to a break. When we get back, more around the NBA, and a little later we will get to the Niners with no Brock Purdy and no Deebo. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
Igor, my faithful companion, it is time to prepare for the night. The shadows grow long, and the creatures of the night stir with excitement.
Yes, Master Dracula. What do you require of me?
I need you to fire up the hearse. Elk Grove Kia is having a Halloween sale that is to die for. We're going to upgrade you a new car worthy of the Prince of Darkness. I'm so excited. It is making my blood shiver.
But Master, with your credit history, aren't you worried you're going to get turned down?
Igor, shut up. Elk Grove Kia's finance department has over 100 years of experience. They can even get me approved, even with my troubled past. At Elk Grove Kia's exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty on all new Kias, it's almost like having an immortal car.
Elk Grove Kia's Halloween sale is so good, it's scaring the competition. In fact, it's so scary, we can't even advertise the pricing. So whether you're in need of a new or used car, make your way to Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, or visit us at elkgrovekia.com.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
We are back, Sactown Sports, Stiles and Watkins. If you're just joining us, thank you for joining us. If you've been listening, thank you for listening to the first episode of Stiles and Watkins, Chris's birthday. We're having a good time. Beaming or dreaming. I saw a couple more come in from Dwayne, beaming. Everybody's beaming right now. If you think that based on what you saw from the Kings last night, they could get past the second round, you're dreaming like our producer Kyle. If you don't think they can. So continue to send in your calls, 916-339-1140.
Someone's got to be on my side.
Someone has
anyone.
to. You would think. But we had some really passionate calls earlier, so thank you for that. We see you on the text line as well. 209 saying, not sure if it was mentioned, but Lyles didn't even play. Yes, no Trey Lyles.
No Trey Bay.
Right, so that's another guy who's just going to continue to add to that depth. Thank you, 209. So you love to see it. You love to see it. Beaming or dreaming. We're going to take a quick Kings break to talk the red and gold.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, Niner gang. And no Brock Purdy. No Deebo. You'd think that would have been enough, no Deebo, but you had Brock against your Vikings. But the Vikings came out Kirko chains, as they're calling him, because he wore the top 10 chains. Kirk Cousins looked good. Actually, speaking of, this is the 8-year anniversary of the You Like That. So we will get that sound for you because you haven't heard it before.
No, never.
Yeah, I know a lot of people probably never heard that sound, but Kirk Cousins let it come back when he was with Washington, and he said, "You like that." And
now
the rest is history.
You like that. Nowadays he's saying you
get
like
out.
That.
Just get out right now.
It's not from my brain. It's
so
others.
I'll let you do a victory lap.
Please.
The Vikings, even though you didn't think the Vikings had a chance, your Vikings.
But I would just like to say that I said the only way the Niners would lose that game is if they let Kirk Cousins throw for 300+ yards. And that's exactly what they did. For whatever reason, Kirk Cousins, I'll tell you why.
With no Justin Jefferson.
Showcase game.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to show Kyle Shanahan and 49er Nation what they've been missing out on. Wow. I mean, a lot has been made of that relationship between Kyle. Kyle likes to wax poetic about Kirk, and Kirk forever has talked about how his experience in Washington with Kyle was transformational for him and all this stuff. And I definitely think that going into that game, Kirk knew Monday night, there's a lot of narrative about Kirk Cousins playing on prime time, going against his fabled star-crossed coach lover, and Kyle Shanahan. And I think he felt like it was a time to prove something.
Yeah,
and,
it might have even been a tryout.
It might have been. It definitely might have been. It might have been a nice hands-on opportunity for Kyle to look at a guy that he's been fantasizing about for a really long time. And I definitely think that played a part in that game. Of course, Jordan Addison was absolutely ridiculous.
Yes.
Just made Travarius Ward his child. Like,
yes.
He really...
Ward got him the first time,
He
though.
did. He got him the first time. But I would definitely say Jordan Addison got the better of that battle. And, frankly, the Niners... I mean, it was a weird game. When you're going to start off the first possession with a Christian McCaffrey fumble, things just are not going how they would normally go. And I don't think the McCaffrey injury played a massive part. Like, I think, it's one of those where if McCaffrey, I mean, he continued to score touchdowns, but if he has a terrible game, we're probably all pointing towards, the injury. And if he has a great game, it's, look at him persevering. But I think for the most part, that was Brock Purdy threw the game away at the end of that. He completely did.
Didn't like that. I don't think Niners fans liked it. And this is what I'm struggling with now, because Brock Purdy being out, concussion on the plane, coming back, showed concussion symptoms, and now they're all of these stats saying what Brock Purdy looked like before, where they believe the concussion happened and after. So do we just throw those mistakes away and say it's because he was concussed? I don't know.
That's what people seem to be doing right now. I mean,
is that what you're doing?
That's not what I'm doing. I still very much took note of those bad throws from Brock Purdy, because that to me, it's all part of, we're still collecting the entire narrative on what it is Brock Purdy is as a quarterback. He still hasn't played a full season of NFL games. And so I think every game that we see has to be taken into account, and you have to try and change or adjust what you think of Brock Purdy based on what you're seeing. And this isn't a new thing. Like, it's just the last two games, he has looked really, really rough. He's almost looked like a completely different guy.
Well, he looked great in the first three quarters.
He did,
against the Vikings.
Yeah.
It was at the end, and and it's funny because we talked about Bryce Young, how they won't even let him, the Panthers won't even let him do the QB sneak. I've joked and said Brock looks like a tech bro that I would see on BART pre-pandemic, just walking into the city with his Patagonia jacket and backpack on. He's not a big dude.
No.
So does that make you rethink? And he's been good he's not as good as Jimmy, but he's been good at those sneaks. And we all know about the brotherly shove and what's going on in Philadelphia. When he gets back, is that a play they maybe think twice on and say, well, we paid McCaffrey a lot of money, let's just run our running back?
Definitely. I definitely think so. Or maybe, why does it have to be a quarterback that takes that snap? Like, why can't it be a tight end? Why can't that be Kyle Juszczyk? Why can't that be George Kittle or Deebo Samuel, someone who's a little bit more physical and a little bit more used to that inline running? That's probably where I would see them going. I mean, how many quarterback injuries do you have to have running the football? Obviously, Trey Lance last year, to learn the lesson of stop putting these guys in harm's way. And of course,
Jimmy G tore his ACL on a run too.
Right, exactly. I wouldn't even say that, that play call was Kyle's fault or anything, but it is just another reminder that you do have to keep it really you have to keep safe with these quarterbacks, especially with the 49ers and just the carousel of quarterbacks that they've had to deal with directly because of injury. And now you can add another one to the list. Now Sam Darnold enters the chat as another 49ers quarterback to get a start. And it's going to be interesting to see how he performs, because Sam Darnold was somebody who Kyle Shanahan, we talked a lot about Kirk Cousins and Kyle's love for Kirk. Yeah. There was a lot of quotes from Kyle Shanahan this offseason about Sam Darnold and how well he throws the ball. And
best arm. Somebody said best arm in the quarterback room.
I believe he called him the human jugs machine, to say like he just always is throwing a perfect ball.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of smoke behind the Kyle Shanahan has an affinity for Sam Darnold fire. And it'll be interesting to see if Sam Darnold has a really good performance, how the chat kind of sparks up during a bye week. And then if he has a bad performance, it'll be interesting to see everyone who's been critical of Brock Purdy and, not so much Niner fans, but everyone outside of the Niner fandom.
Oh, yeah.
like if Sam Darnold goes out there and looks terrible, it's going to give, I think, people a whole new appreciation for what Brock Purdy's been able to do.
Right. It's a tough spot for the Niners because I wouldn't call it lose-lose because a lot of it is just social media chatter and things of that nature. But if Sam Darnold balls out, the Brock Purdy disrespect will continue. It's
going to get elevated. It's going to say, look, see, I told you, here's Sam Darnold, a guy that we know is bad. We've seen, we have evidence. We have years and years of data that says Sam Darnold is this guy.
Right.
But clearly put in this system with these weapons, all of a sudden he looks fantastic. And that's what we've been saying about Brock Purdy this whole time.
That's what we've been saying about Brock.
I cannot wait for that discourse. As someone who just loves drama. I'm going to roll around in it because it's going to be just going to be cannibalism. It's going to be people trying to hurt each other who are really fighting for the same goal.
So there's that part of it if Sam Darnold balls out.
Yeah.
And then if he plays poorly, I would find it hard to believe that the Niners win if he plays poorly, especially you're playing Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Okay, you're playing Joe Icy, right? Joe Burrow and the Bengals.
Also, Joe Burrow, you better.
This is
you
around.
You better win this game.
Well, this
Joe.
is around the time where the Bengals say, "Hey, we were just playing like that meme where you lean forward playing the PS4 or the PS5."
Yep,
this is around the time where the Bengals start to figure it out. So the Niners are in a really precarious position, and ultimately, you just want to win.
Yep.
But I will say. Niner fans, it's almost like a fly in the house, right? When you think you got the fly and you thought you swatted it, but you can't find it anywhere, and then it starts flying around again. QB controversy.
Yep.
The Niners thought you finally got it out of the house. You opened the window, then the sliding door, and you trapped it. You thought it was gone, and it reappears. Just like Thanos, it is inevitable with this Niners fan base. If Sam Darnold balls out, people are saying there will not be a quarterback controversy. How do you figure if he balls?
Yeah.
If he's just middle of the road, then fine. But if he balls, stop playing.
Would it be almost worse if he does almost exactly what Brock does? Where
I love it. Either way.
Because balling we might have different definitions, but what if Sam Darnold is good? Like, what if he's not awesome? What if he's not incredible?
Then
but
Brock
what if he's
is
like
safe.
250 and 2 touchdowns and
honestly
maybe a turnover every other game?
I think either way there's going to be conversations.
Well, and then Kirk just kind of threw his hat into the conversation with his performance on Monday.
I'm back, right? You like that? I'm back. All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, there was a man on the Niners that fans were really disrespectful to. And after watching this game last week or earlier this week, Niner fans got to apologize. And I'm going to tell you who it is when we get back. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
You like that? You like that?
A psoriasis flare-up can make a walk in the park, well, no walk in the park.
It's that obvious, huh? I've tried so many lotions and creams, but I still have symptoms.
So those don't do enough to treat the inflammation beneath the skin, leaving you with those uncontrolled symptoms.
Makes sense, but what else can I do?
You can get real with your dermatologist so they can help you get clear. Make an appointment and, you're already on it.
Hi, yes, I'd like to make an appointment.
Get real clear about psoriasis at letsgetrealclear.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Shop Black Friday every day and get the best new deals all month long only at Lowe's. Right now, bring home a select DeWalt drill or impact driver or Cobalt 40-volt blower for just $99. And order by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery. Because Lowe's knows deals. Valid through 10/31. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. Same-day delivery by 8 p.m. for eligible in-stock items. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. Additional terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
The pandemic is over, but COVID-19 is here to stay. In fact, it's still among the top 5 leading causes of death in the U.S., just after heart disease and cancer. So this fall, stay up to date with the latest COVID-19 vaccines, just like you do with the flu, because you've got no time for 19. The vaccine may not be for everyone. Please consult with your doctor. Brought to you by Moderna.
Your Sacramento State Hornets are home this Saturday night against the Idaho State Bengals. It is homecoming at Sac State, so arrive early and enjoy the homecoming festivities. Kickoff is set for 6 p.m., and let's pack Hornet Stadium as the top-ranked Hornets compete for a Big Sky championship. Stick around after the game for post-game fireworks. Get your tickets now to secure your spot at Hornet Stadium for this Big Sky showdown. You can get your tickets at hornetsports.com. Stingers up.
Hagen Oaks wants you to know about the exciting new T-Series irons from Titleist, offering effortless speed, exceptional feel, and precise control. Working with tour pros and dedicated amateurs, Titleist T-Series are available in 4 different models. The fitting team at Hagen Oaks will find the perfect Titleist T-Series iron for you. Call 916-808-2531 to find your fit today. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway, or online at hagenoaks.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my good friends at Fire Wings with some bullet points for you to remember so you can be a professional fire wing eater. Like Wings Day Wednesday, 88-cent wings each and every Wednesday. 3 flavor lineup includes 7 classic wing flavors, 7 dry rub wing flavors, 7 fusion wing flavors. It's the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. Go to firewings.com or download the app, find a location near you, order online, earn rewards. Fire Wings, just wing it.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own report.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
It's a new era in entertainment. Experience legendary performers like never before. All new and all incredible. This is the venue. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines. Good afternoon, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter, and these are your Sactown Sports headlines. After a 130-114 victory, the Sacramento Kings are 1-0. Harrison Barnes scored 27 first-half points, and the Kings set a franchise opening night record with 13 first-half three-pointers. Brennan Nunez has his 4 takeaways from the game up right now at SactownSports.com, which you guys can check out anytime. Brock Purdy is unlikely to play Sunday for the San Francisco 49ers while he goes through the NFL concussion protocol. Deebo Samuel has already been ruled out for the Niners. And it's homecoming night for Sacramento State football this Saturday versus the Idaho State Bengals. Kickoff is at 6 o'clock p.m. Come early and enjoy the festivities. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com. Those are your headlines. Reminder, all guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Now let's return to more of Stiles and Watkins.
Your new home for 49ers football in the 916, Sactown Sports.
We are back, Sactown Sports. First show, Stiles and Watkins, taking you up to 2 p.m. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see we're trying out some different things. I'm trying to get this mic right. We're going to see if we can do some standing, right? So we're messing around in here, trying to see what's going to work. Got to mix in some, got to stretch the Achilles a little bit, get some calisthenics in there, celebrating Chris's birthday as we talk Kings, and we're getting into a little bit of Niners action. And there's somebody that I said Niner fans are real disrespectful to. And for as much as I love George Kittle, I think he is the heart and soul in certain ways. As much as I love Brandon Ayuk and his ability to make plays, and he really should have been targeted more, I think, in that game as well. I think it's time that some people, some Niner fans, apologize to Deebo Samuel. Apologize. Because a lot of people, when we have this conversation of Brandon Ayuk or Deebo, well, he doesn't run the cleanest routes. And that one time he had this trade request and he was in the club and he was saying he didn't want to be a Niner. Enough. Deebo Samuel, and then you get Christian McCaffrey, and all of a sudden
he's replaceable.
People just want to ship Deebo up out of here. Yeah. And you saw against the Vikings, I know the concussion situation with Brock Purdy, you need Deebo.
Yeah.
Deebo is that guy.
He is.
He sets the tone. Nobody wants to tackle him. Nobody wants to tackle him in the NFL.
Yeah.
The NFL, the National Freaks League, they all love to hit. They see Deebo coming, and they look the other way.
Yeah.
They run the other way when Deebo, he sets the tone.
People don't hit.
He hits people on offense.
Yeah.
He puts people in bad situations.
Yeah.
But Niner fans wanted to move off of him.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, if you got to pick, Ayuk is the more pure receiver. You're not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But the game on the line, you need 10 yards any way you want it.
Yeah.
Right? Any way you want it.
On the ground, in the
air.
You can even
Christian
run him over the
McCaffrey's
top.
only averaging about 3.3 yards these last couple games.
Mm-hmm.
You got it between Deebo, Ayuk, McCaffrey, and Kittle. Whose hands are you putting the ball in?
I mean, if push comes to shove, I'll probably still pick McCaffrey first, but Deebo is definitely, I mean, it's 1A and 1B.
It's 1A, 1B.
Like, it's not, if you give the ball to Deebo, I don't think many people would say, I think some would, but I don't think many people would say, like, you have to give the ball to McCaffrey. There.
Yeah.
I think that they're both just, they're
Deebo.
similar weapons. I mean, yeah, both of those guys, if your season's on the line, it'd be tough to not give him the ball.
You got to give it to Deebo. And people just have such short memories.
Mm-hmm.
And people just forget what Deebo did. He carried that team on his back, no pun intended.
Yeah.
Literally, these last couple years with Jimmy Garoppolo, who the Raiders paid, but that's a different conversation.
Right.
We know Jimmy was limited. So everybody that decided that if you had to choose between Ayuk and Deebo because Ayuk is younger, I get it. I understand why logically it makes more sense.
Yeah.
But what I'm telling you is that when you have Deebo out there, the whole look of the team, the whole personality of the team is different.
Yeah. It's like Deebo Samuel is almost just like, I don't know if this is a perfect example, but he's almost like a boxing jab where it's like, I feel like Ayuk is a little bit more of like a counter punch or maybe, he can be an overhand or something like that where, like he's explosive and you need a guy like him. He almost complements everything that Deebo doesn't do incredibly well. And Ayuk really picks up and like you said, he's a little bit more of a traditional receiver, but Deebo is just, it's like Novocaine. It hits you and it works every single time. I mean, you can just give him balls on the slant routes. You can give him the ball with room to run, and he's going to make the most of the opportunity. And again, he's going to deliver a physical punch that makes that entire team a physical team. Obviously, the Niners defense between Hufanga and Dre Greenlaw and Warner running around there, they're going to inflict pain on a lot of people on the defensive end. But Deebo brings a little bit of power in an offense that is mainly finesse, an offense that's built around movement and misdirection and quickness and speed. And Deebo just brings a whole different element that I don't think a lot of teams are expecting when you think, oh yeah, we're going to play the 49ers. It's going to be a lot of running after the catch. And again, we're going to have to be quick and stay in tune to all the motions happening. You don't think of, oh, this team's going to come and hit me in the mouth. And I think Deebo really sets the tone for all of those other things are still very much true. You do have to worry about that, but you also have to worry about the fact that this guy is going to come straight down the middle and he's going to hit you in the face every single time. On top of that speed, on top of the misdirection, you also have to worry about getting hit in the face.
Well, and a lot of people have things to say about Deebo, and no, he's not the crispest route runner, right? We know what he lacks. But earlier this year, right, you had Deebo and Purdy connect on that fade route. That looked like a route to me.
Gosh, that was awesome.
So
that was a great throw.
I just think that, people have short memories. That's fine. That's good. But seeing And the whole game plan was a mess with the Vikings because I don't know. Did George Kittle play? I mean, they gave him the handoff on the 3rd or 4th and 1 or something like that. He's not getting targeted enough. There's a conversation. People are getting on me on X about, well, he's got to be targeted, this, that. Look, man, I don't know how many routes he's running. Something is wrong somewhere. So maybe I'm not coming down George Kittle's road directly. Yeah. But part of being an elite tight end to me is catching the football at a decently high rate. That was one of the things you were doing. So if it's because of the offensive line and now you have to turn him into a tackle or whatever it is, an offensive guard, then that's on Kyle Shanahan, right? But I do think some of it is also you used to include George Kittle in that conversation for inflicting pain, and I'm just not seeing it. Mm-hmm. I do think he's the emotional leader.
He's starting to show some signs of age.
He looks older.
He's not getting the same separation he used to get. And he's not nearly as physical or as looking to deal punishment as he used to be.
Well, and, after that, you have George Kittle not being able to put out the same amount of receptions and all these things that he's been doing. But at the same time, they go out and get Latu, and he's a complete miss. Yeah. He couldn't even get on the field. Yeah. So
they can't catch the ball.
The tight end situation, and we kind of mess around with some trades earlier, not to fire up the trade generator that we've alluded to throughout the show, but you have to fix something. I mean, we like Dawson Knox for the Bills. Even they had to get somebody else to kind of counter both sides of that. So just having George Kittle just is not enough. Yeah. And they know it's not enough, but you are unable to find that secondary tight end. I don't know what the Niners are going to do. Now you don't have Deebo, you don't have Brock. And I see it here. I think it was from the Pike 916. If Sam Darnold goes out and throws for 350 with a couple tuds,
it's going to be hard
and he's
to pull.
balling, how do you pull him?
Especially going into a bye week, you could
all
argue
of a sudden,
you got some time to integrate him into some things. Who knows? Brock Purdy, concussions.
Hey, we're just playing it safe.
Exactly.
We're playing it safe. Now, will this happen? I don't know. Yeah. I mean, the Bengals have a pretty good pass rush. And like you said, you're going up against Joe Burrow. But if you beat a premier quarterback and you do it in a way that looked very much at least like Brock, but maybe a throw here or there that you're thinking, could Brock make that throw?
Yeah.
Now, the concussion thing, like you're not putting everything on the concussion. I don't know what I'm doing, to be completely honest with you. I think it would be a little bit too much for me to throw the whole game or throw every
the whole
because they have the pre-concussion stats and post. So okay, I mean, I guess that's fine. To me, it doesn't really make a difference because it's almost Law and Order when they say strike that from the record, right? Concussion or not, we saw what we saw it, and you can't take that away. So now you don't get to play. And now if Sam Darnold balls out, then you go into the bye week. So the last thing everybody remembers are there's 2 picks from Brock Purdy and Sam Darnold balling out. Now, will Sam Darnold ball out? I have no clue. I have no clue. But I do think it will be a conversation. I think people out there that are saying it doesn't matter what Sam Darnold does, there won't be a controversy. I think that's ridiculous. Because stats-wise, we know Brock is a winner, but stats-wise, it's not like he's doing things that are not repeatable.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
So how repeatable?
We'll see.
I guess we'll have to see. All right, got to get to a break. When we get back to some Kings talk, your expectations for the season, all that and more. When we get back, Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Get big savings and big rewards during Provember at Lowe's. Right now, MVP's members earn 3 times the bonus points on DeWalt products and save $200 on a DeWalt sliding compound miter saw. Plus, earn 3 times the bonus points on Little Giant products and save $70 on a Little Giant multi-position 14-foot ladder. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. While supplies last, selection varies by location. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid through 11/22.
Okay, everyone, gather around. It's time for corny jokes about passing the torch.
The team at Kirian's Welding was fused together solid.
Thanks for all the late nights and early shifts.
But double retirements mean the crew must bond with some certified new hires.
You've both gone the extra millimeter.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates, and you can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you know gas goes bad in as little as 30 days? Bad gas can cause rough starts, poor performance, or no starts at all. Stable, America's #1 fuel stabilizer, ensures quick and easy starts after storage. Stable's proprietary formula keeps fuel fresh for 2 years, outperforming competitors. Whether it's your car, truck, boat, lawnmower, leaf blower, weed trimmer, ATV, motorcycle, or anything else with an engine, when you store, start with Stable.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard. At Elk Grove Honda, we see every Honda buyer as a member of the family, so we make sure every certified pre-owned Honda is one we would buy from ourselves. At Elk Grove Honda, we include many benefits that a private seller just can't match. Our Honda-trained technicians only certify our Hondas if they pass a thorough 182-point inspection, and our certified pre-owned Hondas are under 5 years old. So you know you're getting the newest Hondas in prime condition. See our exceptional selection of certified pre-owned Hondas in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports' IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com and sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's film at the Esquire IMAX Theater. Today is the Sac Jobs Career Fair. Go over during your lunch if you want that better job. Today at the Lionsgate Hotel at McCollin Park off of Watt Avenue. Tons of employers are looking to hire. Again, it's today starting at 11 a.m. from SacJobs.com.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
We are back, Sactown Sports. Stiles and Watkins, first show vibes. The vibes are vibing, having a good time. Thank you for the calls. Thank you for the text. Thank you on the YouTube chat. If you're driving around the beautiful city of Sacramento, thank you for listening to us. You can continue to listen to us every single day, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So, Chris, I think we should kind of go back and forth here a little bit as we continue to get to know each other. For those who don't know me, right? My name is Alan Stiles.
What up?
Grew up in the Bay Area, Concord to be exact. Sea World, as I call it. Nobody calls it that, but I call it that. Not the one with the dolphins.
Yeah.
It's just called a sea, right? So grew up in Concord, went to De La Salle High School. No, I did not play football. I was busy playing baseball, where I did that for a very long time. Played in Philadelphia, Temple University. Finished up. I was doing radio in the Bay, and now I'm here.
Yes, glad to have
Chris, you can go ahead. I know you've been here, but
yeah,
do your thing.
Hi, how's it going? Chris Watkins, born October 26th. Yeah, I mean, I've been doing. I've been working here at the radio station. Actually, I was thinking about it the other day. I've been here for pushing on 10 years in February. Just doing the grind. Everybody's kind of got their own path, especially in this like radio industry. Some people, like Kyle Draper, do TV and then make their way over to radio, or some people. Whatever, everybody's got their own path. And I just kind of figured I'd put myself in the building, work my way up through promotions, through digital, through all that stuff.
From the gutter.
Eventually, talent will be recognized. And that's what I was kind of banking on. And worked out pretty well. And now I've been doing this on-air thing for, just about 8 months almost.
Grassroots. That's grassroots right there.
Yeah.
Gotta get in where you fit in.
Yep.
So here's what we're gonna do. We see you on the YouTube chat. We see you call line, text line 916-339-1140. We want you to get to know us.
Yeah.
Are there any questions that you have for us?
Right.
Hop in the chat. Let us know anything that we can do so you feel like you know us a little bit better. Do you have any questions? I know we've kicked it a couple times outside the stew,
for sure.
You got any questions for me?
I got to ask, we'll just get some basic sports questions out of the way. favorite player of all time is something Whitey asked me like my first day here.
Okay.
Or his first day here, I should say.
Favorite player in any
all
sport?
time, any sport. Your favorite athlete, I guess,
It's probably
got
to be Ken Griffey Jr.
Such a great answer.
Yeah, lefty, grew up on, hi, this is Ken Griffey Jr. Let's play Major League Baseball. N64.
So good.
So I got to go with Ken.
Hat, all
the
that
backwards
stuff,
hat. I still have Griffies. You know what?
Really?
I just got the new Griffies. The Griffey, I think they were the anniversaries. I got those. They made the trip over to Sacramento, so I might rock them tomorrow for Friday. But yeah, it'd have to be Ken Griffey Jr.
That's a great answer.
So who's yours?
I would probably say my favorite athlete of all time is probably Randy Moss, just because I got to watch him a lot as like a kid and like in my formative years. And like when I first started watching football, it really had the feeling of like, oh, this guy just scores every time.
Right.
Like every play is just a deep ball that goes to Randy Moss and he scores a 50-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
And like as a kid, I don't think there's anything better that I could have watched.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
it really
I thought you were
felt
going to go
like
Dante
Madden.
Culpepper or something.
Dante was my guy for
Yeah.
sure. I was a big Dante Culpepper guy. I was like a flag football quarterback who was a little bit, huskier. So I definitely was like, Dante, I could definitely fit Dante as my player mold.
Yeah.
And basketball, obviously the Kings have had
Sure.
a good couple lean years, we'll say. So it's been tough in terms of favorite King of all time, but I would probably, my favorite of all time, and I'm not pandering here, is probably Doug Christie. I really enjoyed Doug's game.
Okay.
He was really great. And of course, he worked here for a good period of time.
Yes. But that's not why.
That's not why. That's definitely
not
not why. It definitely helped. Doug the person is even better, but Doug is a basketball player. That's just kind of, like a lunch pail guy, defensive minded, would guard Kobe, but would also definitely not be a slouch on the offensive end either. Could give you 10 points on any given night.
Yeah.
Love Doug's game.
All right.
So good.
We see on the YouTube chat, Jess is trying to get me caught up. What's your favorite word that is too short reference?
Come on.
Nicely done, but
Not day one.
I will not be answering that.
Not on day one.
Nicely done. Andrew Cardwell, Stiles, welcome. Came here from the radio just to welcome you. Thank you for that, Andrew. Thank you for everybody that's been listening. I just felt like throughout the show, this will happen organically, but it's the intro situation.
Right.
You start the show. You're turning on your car, you hop on, you're thinking, who we know who Chris is, who is this guy, and what do we got going on? But we got some special things planned. Beaming or dreaming, I think that was outstanding. We're going to continue to do that anytime the Kings either have a good game or a really bad game. You know what I mean?
A milestone game.
A milestone game. So we're going to keep that rocking and rolling as well. And as we talk about relationships and how they can kind of mold and change, it's an interesting one. The connections, obviously, I'm from the Bay.
Yep.
Now I'm in Sacramento.
Yes, sir.
You got the Warriors. You got the Kings. They're playing each other. There's always been this Kings have just always been kind of cherry picking a lot of what the Warriors are doing. And now I'm wondering, 916-339-1140, if it bothers you that De'Aaron Fox has signed with the Curry brand. We have the sound. He was on NBA Today. I guess they're doing a full feature, but here's the initial kind of note about it with De'Aaron and Steph on the show.
It is rare that two star players from opposing teams are sitting next to one another, but this is for a special occasion. What's going on?
I'm the very first Curry brand athlete, and I'm extremely excited about the opportunity that he's given me, and I want to take this, obviously, individual. I want to continue to grow, but also I want to help his brand as well. So there's a mutual respect and a mutual agreement that we have, and we want to be able to grow this together.
This is definitely a special occasion. I've been rocking, Curry brand Under Armour since 2013, and Curry brand's been in existence since 2020. But to be able to partner with somebody like D Fox while we're still competing, while we're still battling, and so for me, to be sitting next to him and to understand what this opportunity really means and allow him to take it and run with it is a dream come true for me, because there's no better guy than him.
Throughout the playoffs, this happened a lot. Like, we would show our team would show the shoes, and they're like, "Oh, he's wearing Steph's, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, well, I'm gonna bust his ass in these shoes. Like, that's how I'm thinking about it. Like, they're like, "Oh, you see someone with your shoes on, you like, I got him." I'm like, well, what if you see someone with your shoes on and they're coming at you? So it's like, it's it's kind of a mind game on both sides, I feel like. And I'm trying to play it on this side.
Wow.
Infiltrate from within.
Yeah.
Trojan horse this thing.
I don't know.
That's what I like to hear.
I don't know. It is getting warm in here because I think there are a lot of different stances that you can take on this one. And I'm very, very interested in what other people have to say. Does it bother you at all that De'Aaron Fox is signed to Curry Brand? It's really, in my memory, it's the first of its kind, right? The only other person would be LeBron. LeBron hasn't signed anybody. They're on the Rich Paul situation, but shoes, you got on Curry's and you're playing Curry. Does it bug you? I know it's going to bug some people. You don't think it will.
I don't think so. I mean, he's been
man.
wearing Under Armours for a while now. Like, he's been wearing them for, it hasn't been an official signing or anything, but he's been wearing them for the good half of last year, if not the entirety of last year, maybe like a full 2 seasons now. He's been wearing Curry's, and, you know, it's.
Okay, so
would I like him to not wear Curry's? Yeah, for sure. But, like, is it, you know, it's not going to be something
the
that
De'Aaron
I'm like, this
Fox,
guy is soft.
The De'Aaron, because he hasn't had shoes before, right?
Not,
he had the D Fox ones.
He had a Nike shoe that was like a limited release.
The D Fox ones under the Curry brand, and they look fire.
The Curry brand Fox ones.
The Curry brand Fox ones.
Oh, I think they're going to call them Swipe-A ones.
That would be good.
I think they already did. I think that's what the Nike one was called.
So they come out and they look fire, and Chris is walking and he passes Foot Locker, and they're right there in downtown Sacramento.
Oof.
Can Chris buy them or not?
Whoa, that is
what?
Whoa, no, I put myself in that situation, and I had never considered.
But they
that
just look.
part of
They
it.
look fire to you. Could you bring yourself to buy them?
Maybe the first ones. Maybe the first ones just for like the iconic nature of the fact that it is the first ones, but you know, putting myself in that situation, I really don't know if me personally, if I can get through, because I'm also a special case where like I'm so far on the opposite end of the Steph spectrum where it's like it could not be a worse person for me to have to suck it up and try and appreciate.
I hear what De'Aaron Fox is saying. I do.
Yeah. The Trojan horse, man. It's a tale as old as time.
But I'm also thinking you're lucky, Steph, because you know Steph is a troll. You know that. And I'm thinking he might pay Drake to have some Drake line in there. Like, Drake, I make it do what it do. You trying to ball on me, but you wearing my shoe. What if he just dropped that?
I really hope you did not write that down before the show. I mean, it was good, but I really hope that's off the top. That's crazy.
That's just off the top of the dome. Because I'm just saying.
No, I mean, I would not put it past Steph to bring this back in some full circle, corny, haha, I got you kind of
way.
Like
Steph wears the De'Aaron Fox ones when they play each other.
And says,
and then cooks him.
Oh, it's cool to do it in
shoe.
somebody's shoe. Exactly, saying something like that.
Oh man,
yeah, it's not ideal. I probably will not be racing to Foot Locker to buy them anytime soon. But
you know what?
I can look past it.
I know some people. Yeah. I got a great birthday gift for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get you the shoes.
Don't do that. Don't do that, because I'm not good at faking reactions, and I might say, "Why did you do this? You should have kept your money."
I'm gonna get you the shoes. I will.
I would prefer you not.
Let me talk to some people. Got to get to a break. When we get back, we're looking deeper into the numbers. Chris has some numbers, some stats that he noticed throughout the game, and we're going to break those down when we get back. That and much more when we come back. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports. Like Drake, I make it do what it do. You trying to ball on me, but you wearing my shoe.
Will Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers brass go all the way this season?
Could the Niners win their first Super Bowl since 1995?
Join us throughout the season to hear all the games and all the analysis on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Igor, my faithful companion, it is time to prepare for the night. The shadows grow long, and the creatures of the night stir with excitement.
Yes, Master Dracula. What do you require of me?
I need you to fire up the hearse. Elk Grove Kia is having a Halloween sale that is to die for. We're going to upgrade to a new car worthy of the Prince of Darkness. I'm so excited. It is making my blood shiver.
But Master, with your credit history, aren't you worried you're going to get turned down?
Igor, shut up. Elk Grove Kia's finance department has over 100 years of experience. They can even get me approved, even with my troubled past. And Elk Grove Kia's exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty on all new Kias, it's almost like having an immortal car.
Elk Grove Kia's Halloween sale is so good, it's scaring the competition. In fact, it's so scary, we can't even advertise the pricing. So whether you're in need of a new or used car, make your way to Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, or visit us at elkgrovekia.com.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
One of the things with running is I want to enjoy the run, but I never made it very far because the arches in my feet just killed me. So when I got to the end of my rope and I said I have to do something to get rid of the pain, and a couple of people recommended the Good Feet store to me. I loved how I could go in and get a free personalized arch support fitting. They put that time, that work, that effort into helping you find the right arch supports. And you can walk around this store with these in your shoes and try them out before you purchase them. So after I got my arch supports, the arches on my feet stopped hurting and the pain instantly, literally instantly went away. So if you have pain, go. Find a Good Feet store and go. There is an answer. Find the simple solution that will get rid of your pain. I'm Rondi, and that's my Good Feet story.
See how Good Feet arch supports work for you before you buy with a free fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store.
Knee, hip, foot, leg, or back pain? Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
I'm Dr. Stork. Eggs are a staple in our diets, and there's only one egg with more delicious farm fresh taste plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. With more vitamins, including 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, plus 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. Available in so many delicious varieties: classic, cage-free, and organic. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good afternoon, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter. These are your Sactown Sports headlines. After a 130-114 victory, the Sacramento Kings are 1-0 on the season. Last night, Harrison Barnes scored 27 first-half points. 8 different Sacramento Kings made a three-pointer. They set a franchise opening night record with 13 three-pointers in the first half. Brennan Nunez has his 4 takeaways from the game up right now at SactownSports.com. Please check that out. It's very insightful. Brock Purdy is unlikely to play Sunday for the San Francisco 49ers while he goes through the NFL concussion protocol. Deebo Samuel has already been ruled out for the game for San Francisco. And your Sacramento State Hornets have homecoming night this Saturday versus the Idaho State Bengals. Kickoff is at 6 o'clock p.m. Come early and enjoy the festivities. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com. Those are your headlines. Let's return to more of Stiles and Watkins here on Sactown Sports.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
We are back, Sactown Sports. Stiles and Watkins getting you going as we talk Kings, we talk Niners. Let's get back into some Kings. Thank you, Jose Medina, on the YouTube chat. Let's get it, Stiles. Glad to have you up in Sacramento. Thank you for that, Jose. And thanks for everybody who's been coming in while we debut our show, giving us kind words, because I guarantee you in a couple days, they might not be so kind, and that's just part of the gig, and I love it. I love it. My whole thing, if you're going to come at me for my takes or whatever, just give an alternative. You know, don't just say you stink.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't help me.
Dumb. That was a dumb take.
That doesn't help me.
Are you an idiot?
Help me help you.
Say something.
Yes. Help me help you, please. And together, we can continue to rock this thing and make Stiles and Watkins the hottest show in Sacramento.
In the toe.
Yeah.
3 hours in, I had to give it to the
Just
OGs.
couldn't put your foot in your mouth, could you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Had to do it for the OGs. No, that's it. I'm good.
Yeah, and honestly, you can find go. We have our past shows up. If you want to know about the toe, go check it out. Go check it out. It's pretty funny. We might keep it going. Who knows? Who knows? This is the first show. We're trying to figure all these things out. Let's look at some of the numbers as we break down the Kings and we break down what we saw.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, you had some notes some stats that you thought were interesting.
Yeah.
Why don't you give it to me and the good people?
Yeah, for sure. I think first shout out Will Z Stats, who always, every single year, Kings coverage last year, he absolutely killed it. Always has some of the best numbers just to look at before the games. I believe he writes previews. You can check out his Twitter account, his X account. He's always putting out really good numbers that I always find really productive and not just, random stats or something like that. Usually it's there's a story behind the numbers that he points out. So definitely wanted to give Will Z Stats all the flowers, because yesterday he tweeted out something very, very interesting. A big talking point for the Kings, of course, on the defensive end of things. Will they ever have a true rim protector? Obviously, JaVale McGee was brought in this offseason to be that rim protector. Before that, they brought in Nerlens Noel. They signed Skal Labissiere. They bring back Neemias Queta, all in search of someone who can ideally be 7 foot, stand at the rim, and send shots the other way. JaVale McGee was brought in again. He's 36 years old. We don't know what we're really going to get from him. Last night, the Kings showed an ability to protect the rim that they did not show the entirety of last year. The season high in blocks last season for the Kings was 8. Last night, just want to take a random guess. How many blocks do you think they had last night? 8. They had 8. Yeah. They had 8 blocks in day one, which would have matched their season high from last year. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think, and it wasn't even JaVale that really, set that number over the top either. It's Keegan Murray had 2 blocks. Sabonis had 2 blocks. One of them was fantastic. He unfortunately blocked it off the backboard and it went right to Walker Kessler, but it was a great block in transition. Just their ability to protect the rim better.
Malik Monk, 2
blocks on his end. JaVale also threw in a block in there as well, as did De'Aaron. But their ability to protect the rim, or at least be better in the paint. It doesn't, again, I don't think the Kings are, by bringing in JaVale McGee, all of a sudden going to be a really good defensive team or a good interior defensive team. But the fact that as a unit, they were able to, again, I think it shows the sign of physicality, not letting anybody get open looks, not just allowing anybody to shoot without a hand, at least in their face. I think it's a huge improvement. And I don't think, earlier we were doing, is this nothing or something something that's going to stick along, or is this just a blip in the first game of the season and there's no other data to go off of? To me, that having 8 blocks in game one, I don't know if, the Kings are going to be a great blocking team this year, but to me, that shows they've definitely at least made strides in that department and are definitely taking at least the easy shots, making it harder on teams, which is obviously a huge positive when you don't have overall size.
Right. And I think that, the tough thing about blocking is leapers like to leap. You get stuck in the air and then you're fouling.
JaVale's guilty of that
all the time. So you don't want to see that happen. But I do think the fact that, again, that's part of the effort, right? Getting back on D. I know one of the blocks, I believe it was Keegan, was from behind.
Yes.
So that's getting back on defense, not giving up on plays.
So
and it's
true,
just
right? Transition defense.
all part of the maturation process that the Kings are going through right now as they try to get to this next stage, the next phase of who they are as a team and the success that they want to have. Okay, that's a solid one right there. What else you got for us?
You're talking about who they are as a team. I mean, the defense is fine. The defense is however much they improve on that end is awesome, and that's going to determine how good they are. But you can't forget about the offense. The offense is what makes this team so dangerous in the first place, and that's their calling card. At the end of the day, they can be terrible on defense and still be incredible on offense and still win more games than not.
Yeah.
And last night was a continuation. Again, they put up 130 points. Last season, this is again from Will Z Stats. Last season, the Kings had 21 games with over 130 points, the most since the 83-84 season. Clearly, again, just another number that shows how ridiculous their offense was last year. What they do, they started off last night scoring 130 in game one.
Right.
13 threes was the most in the first half. It was just, they were knocking down triples, getting easy looks. And again, didn't even have their star players really shine. Domas, quiet 22. De'Aaron, 18 points. We mentioned 1 of 7 from 3. He wasn't even knocking down his shots. Even Keegan Murray, 15 points. Nothing really to write home about. Still was able to put up 130. I think it's just, we talked about it earlier, but it's just such a great sign that this team's offense is different. It's not the same as, Golden State. If they're putting up 130, Steph probably has 40.
Yes.
Steph almost has to have 40.
Right.
With the Kings, they can put up 130 and have De'Aaron finish under 20. That's absurd. That's ridiculous. And that's, again, just another reason why this Kings team is going to be so tough for a lot of opponents to take down. Not just the bottom feeders or anything, but even teams like Denver, teams like the Lakers. People don't account for that much depth. They really have their 2 guys or their 3 guys, and they're like, our 3 guys are essentially going to outscore the rest of your team, and we'll get contributions from other spots. But with the Kings, you got to have at least, we were talking earlier, how many 2 or 3 defensive guys out there if you're going against them, because you can't just say, okay, we're going to put Jared Vanderbilt on De'Aaron Fox and we're going to have Anthony Davis on Sabonis, and then we'll be fine, because that means now LeBron's got to chase Keegan Murray. That means Austin Reeves has got to try and body up Harrison Barnes. There's just so much talent offensively out there. It's going to be a nightmare for most teams to go against the Kings.
Yeah, and when you look at the names, I think that is the most interesting thing, because a lot of the names don't stick out, right? If you were to say who is a better team offensively between the Warriors and the Kings, your first inclination would be to say the Warriors.
Because they have Clay, they have Steph, they have Chris Paul, they have Andrew Wiggins. They have these names that are like, I know what that is, but then you say the Kings and De'Aaron Fox, okay, well, he's not Steph Curry. You say Domantas Sabonis, okay, that's fine. Like, none of those guys are really going to instill fear in you even still.
Yeah, and, we talked a little bit about Kevin Huerter and getting him back on track, and I think that he can get back on track in part because it's interesting. There is a lot on him just in terms of his personal situation and whether he's going to be able to hold on to this starting role or not.
Yeah.
But really, the good thing is for the Kings, it might not be great for Kevin Huerter, but good for the Kings is that we can survive without you playing the way we'd like you to play because we have other pieces. We'd love for you to go off and be, and do what you've done, but we can figure out a way to get through this even if you don't, which is good for us, not so good for you.
Right.
And I'm wondering now, way too early to talk trades or anything like that, but is that starting to creep into his head? We'll know more. I think tomorrow is going to be outstanding basketball. I think it's going to be drama-filled. No Draymond. I believe they already said that's official.
Yeah.
So everybody out there that's trying to show up to boo Draymond, you'll have to wait for next time. He will not be there. but it will still be a great game. We have some more numbers to get through. Got to get to a break. And one that is really bizarre, doesn't have to do with the Kings, but really bizarre with that guy in San Antonio that you may or may not heard about. He's kind of an alien. We'll talk about that and more when we get back. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam Team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave letting you know Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room and primetime football location is back. Cap Casino giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Check it out. Capital Casino. And as always, please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
We are back, Sactown Sports. Getting you ready, reacting to Kings, Jazz, and getting you ready for Kings Warriors. No Draymond, but it's still going to be a good one. It'll still be classic. And we know the fans are ready. The beam is ready. You already got one. Keep it going. That's what the Kings are thinking as they welcome. I don't know how welcome they'll feel, but they will welcome the Warriors. And look, man, I know you didn't agree with me on the preseason stuff when Steph hit the game winner and did the night-night thing and all that jazz, right? So I hear you on that, but you got to think, honestly, I think it actually helped. I think now that it's the real deal, that's still another taste in their mouth that maybe they didn't care at the time. Right, but this would be a good one to get if you're the Kings.
Absolutely. I mean, home opener, Warriors start off the season 0-1, could put them at 0-2 and really start to, especially if they beat them on Friday and then beat them again. I believe they play again next Wednesday.
Yeah.
They could put 2 on them early, start making them think like, okay, like this is a bad start to the season. Can we bounce back from this? And B, this Kings team is giving us a lot of trouble. And after, we were the last opponent that they saw last year, and we felt like, they ended up winning the series in 7 games, so they felt like they were the better team after 7 games. Might start to slip in a little bit of Warrior doubt, and I think that was really the thing that we were looking for last year. When does the losing kind of start, and when does that losing lead to locker room whispers in that Warriors locker room, and what does that lead to in terms of how strong their chemistry is? And I think the Kings have a really good opportunity to make a statement. Like I kind of almost hope it's not a good game. I kind of hope it's not a fun game where it's a opening night where we can talk about for years of how these two teams come off of a playoff series and then light the world on fire in their first game back the following year. I'm kind of hoping that the Kings blow them out by 20 or 30 and just prove to them, hey, you guys can't run with us. You guys don't have the depth to keep up with us. And we're a new team this year, and we took note of the fact that y'all have been trying to sun us for the past, 6 months. You guys have tried to not downplay the Kings' success, but definitely still carry yourselves like you're in a class above. The Kings need to show early in this season to the Warriors and to the Lakers, and they did a good job of showing Utah they're a team that other teams need to be concerned about.
Yeah.
Malik said it after the Clipper game last year, and I love the quote and I use it all the time, but like they got to play us too. And the Kings need to kind of keep that energy of other teams need to be aware. Yeah. It needs to be we're playing Sac tonight. We need to be on. We need to make sure we don't let them get going. We need to take away some of their best stuff and not just let the game come to them. And the Kings are going to falter throughout the game. The Kings need to make statements early in this season. And it could be just me trying to build a narrative, but I really do think that getting off a good start to this season goes a really long way with their positioning later in the year and just throughout this season, how they're going to carry themselves when they eventually do hit adversity. Mm-hmm. I think they need to feel like they need to have something to go back on and say, oh no, what about when we were that team and we had that in us? How do we bring that back out? Whereas if they kind of falter and stutter out the gate, it might be a looking around and say, we're not the same team we were last year. There are different elements of this and start to doubt yourself. I think they need to build as much confidence as possible in all elements.
No, and you're spot on because like I've said before, and I'll say it again, I think the Kings probably beat any other team in that Game 7 in the Western Conference besides the Warriors.
Yeah.
It's starting to get –
they got
Steph. It's not going beyond basketball, but – it is something to where you need to stack up some of these actual victories and moral victories, whatever you want to call it, to just say, hey, we can hang with these guys just in case they run into them, which they might not, because I don't even know. Right. We'll talk about it more tomorrow. I don't even know how good the Warriors are.
Right. Yeah, they might be preparing for a test that just never comes.
Right.
The Warriors quiz that
just, who knows? Yeah. Who knows? But just in case. Okay, so you had one more stat, not a Kings stat, but this one was very interesting.
This is definitely an interesting one, and I'm not a huge believer in like numbers and the same number as that and that and that, but this is just too eerie. This is from shout out Spurs Muse, who apparently every team and every player now has a Muse account.
I saw one for a player. I can't remember what player it was. Yeah. And it was basically saying, hey, like somebody created the Muse account and said, hey, does somebody want to buy this? So I don't know if it's somebody just hoarding Muse accounts.
A for-profit thing.
Yeah, and then just saying, hey, you want this Herder Muse? And I'm sure Herder already has one.
I guarantee there's a Herder Muse out there.
It's really weird. Someone owns the domain for Lonnie Walker Muse. It's really weird.
I'm like, what is the line of –
Yes.
If I'm in the NBA, obviously I'm not tripping because I'm in the NBA. But if I don't have a Muse – I feel like a bum.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to have a Stiles Muse.
Yeah, exactly.
Because everyone has one.
Everyone's got one.
And we know this guy has
this
one.
This is from Spurs Muse. This is not from Wemby Muse, but it is from Spurs Muse. Victor Wembanyama in his debut, I would say a little bit underwhelming just in terms of I think people were expecting straight out the gate 25 and 12 with 5 blocks. 15 points, 2 assists, 6 of 9 from the field. Nothing really special. They were in a good game against Dallas on ESPN, which I didn't get to watch the conclusion of, but they were in that game, and I think that's a good sign for a Spurs team that hopes to be frisky this year. But again, Wembanyama, 15, 2 assists, 6 of 9 from the field. Sounds pretty good, right?
Yeah.
What if I told you that Tim Duncan, their last number 1 pick in his NBA debut, also had 15 points, 2 assists, and was 6 of 8 from the field. So, that's both to say Wemby didn't have a great game, like an all-timer of a game. He didn't have LeBron 27-7 or whatever he had in his debut. But, there's just because you don't have this ridiculous coming out party doesn't mean that your career is over. Doesn't mean that we should expect anything less. Tim Duncan quite literally had the same exact stat line.
That is crazy. I mean, the points and assists is one thing, but the same
6 of 9
6 of 9 is crazy.
Weird. Just weird. I mean, and I don't know. I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I was kind of surprised at how little shot attempts mainly Wemby got yesterday. I kind of figured that team this entire season was just going to be, let's give Wemby as many opportunities as possible and just kind of get him as acclimated to the league as quickly as possible.
Yeah. And look, and maybe the Mavericks are a little
fool's gold-ish.
Yeah. Or not fool's gold. I was going to say maybe they're better than some people are giving them credit for. Maybe we'll see. But again, that's another team in the Spurs to where if you're in the Western Conference, you can't just roll it out. I think they'll lose most games, but they're going
That's
to.
a guy that you have to deal with.
That's a guy that you have to deal with. And he destroyed the
problem.
Warriors a couple weeks ago, whenever that was in the preseason. So, yeah, having the same exact stat line, that's pretty crazy. Also, both being on the Spurs, all those connections. Yeah, that's something else. That's something else. Yeah. So, I mean, Wembanyama, to me, and Kyle was telling us before the show that they had the ticker at the bottom for Wembanyama's stats.
Yeah.
That's a little much to me.
The only time I've ever seen that done before was Caitlin Clark in her March Madness run last year, and then Kobe Bryant on his final game. Those are the only two times I've ever seen ESPN whip out the constant. And Trae Young. When Trae Young was in college, they would do it too. But just the constant stat ticker from tip off all the way through the final whistle.
Right.
It's like, I mean, yeah, like that's what we're all here for sure. But maybe just throw it up every break or something.
Yeah,
I don't know if we need to just have that.
We're witnessing history, and then you didn't.
Yeah.
But I guess they needed it
because
there.
at the time it was like 11 points, 3 for 6 from the field, and they just had it constantly up on the screen.
My question is, if they do this, would they do it again? They're going to keep doing this?
I think as long as the Spurs are on, because they know that if you're tuning in, that's what you want.
I can't see them doing it again.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me.
I don't even know how many national games they have anyway.
I think they have more than what people would want.
Yeah.
I think they have like 5 to 7 national TV games.
Wemby time.
Yeah, I mean,
Wemby time.
I'm more than down to watch Wemby as many times as possible.
All right, get into a break. When we get back, we are going over all the Thursday night games, NBA and NFL. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Can the Niners build off their NFC Championship appearance from last season? How will the quarterbacks perform throughout the year?
Purdy back, now going to throw for the end zone, wide open, Brandon Ayuk is on fire!
Will the defense lead this squad again?
Intercepted! Ball got tipped up and taken by Fred Warner!
Get all your 49er coverage throughout the NFL season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Thursday is looking bright and sunny. A dry day today pairs up with a north breeze about 5 to 10 this afternoon and highs peaking in the upper 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Winter's coming, so let's kick off the cold season right and get your heater all tuned up. Now just $79. No matter how cold it gets outside, you'll always be warm and toasty inside. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com.
Shop Black Friday every day and get the best new deals all month long only at Lowe's. Right now, bring home a select DeWalt drill or impact driver or Cobalt 40-volt blower for just $99. And order by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery. Because Lowe's knows deals. Valid through 10/31. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. Same-day delivery by 8 p.m. for eligible in-stock items. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. Additional terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
The pandemic is over, but COVID-19 is here to stay. In fact, it's still among the top 5 leading causes of death in the U.S., just after heart disease and cancer. So this fall, stay up to date with the latest COVID-19 vaccines, just like you do with the flu, because you've got no time for 19. The vaccine may not be for everyone. Please consult with your doctor. Brought to you by Moderna.
The City of Sacramento offers grass conversion rebates to help you replace your thirsty lawn with a naturally water-efficient landscape. Whether you own a home or business in Sacramento, you may be eligible. Learn more at sacwaterwise.com.
Shop Folsom Lake Kia for all your favorite models at low prices and payments, plus low finance rates and zero down deals with approved credit. Go see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 20 years.
Hagen Oaks wants you to know about the exciting new T-Series irons from Titleist, offering effortless speed, exceptional feel, and precise control. Working with tour pros and dedicated amateurs, Titleist T-Series are available in 4 different models. The fitting team at Hagen Oaks will find the perfect Titleist T-Series iron for you. Call 916-808-2531 to find your fit today. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway, or online at hagenoaks.com.
Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers. And if you've even thought of replacing your old, outdated, inefficient windows, now is the time to take action.
Right now at Bell Brothers, when you buy one window, you'll get the second one for 30% off. That's right. Buy one, get the second one 30% off.
That's real savings, up to $6,000. You have to buy at least 4 windows to qualify, and you can't mix windows and doors. But beyond that, every second window is 30% off.
For example, when you buy 10 windows, you will get 5 windows at 30% off. We also have 0% interest financing available for qualified buyers. Call for details.
To take advantage of our buy one, get one 30% off sale, call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Hey, it's Carmichael Day for my good friends at Fire Wings with some bullet points for you to remember so you can be a professional fire wing eater. Like Wings Day Wednesday, 88-cent wings each and every Wednesday. 3 flavor lineup includes 7 classic wing flavors, 7 dry rub wing flavors, 7 fusion wing flavors. It's the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. Go to firewings.com or download the app, find a location near you, order online, earn rewards. Fire Wings, just wing it.
If you're a business owner, Mercedes-Benz of Stockton invites you to take advantage of a 4.9% APR for up to 36 months on select 2022 and 2023 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter vans. And since new Sprinters qualify for the generous Section 179 tax deduction for business vehicles, you can save thousands. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, sales, service, and a dedicated commercial vehicle department to help your company with any job. See our inventory at mbofstockton.com.
Today is the Sac Jobs Career Fair. Go over during your lunch if you want that better job. Today at the Lionsgate Hotel at McCollum Park off of Watt Avenue. Tons of employers are looking to hire. Again, it's today starting at 11 a.m. from sacjobs.com.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
Good afternoon, Sacramento. My name is Kyle Ledbetter, and these are your Sactown Sports headlines. The Sacramento Kings are 1-0 with a 130-114 victory against the Utah Jazz. Harrison Barnes had 27 first-half points. 8 different Sacramento Kings made a three-pointer, and they set a franchise opening night record with 13 first-half three-pointers. Brennan Nunez has his 4 takeaways from the games story up right now at SactownSports.com. You guys should definitely check that out. Brock Purdy is unlikely to play Sunday for the San Francisco 49ers while he goes through the NFL concussion protocol. And it's homecoming night for the Sacramento State football Hornets this Saturday versus the Idaho State Bengals. Kickoff is at 6 o'clock p.m. Come early and enjoy the festivities. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com. Those are your headlines. Reminder, all guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Now let's return for the final half hour of Stiles and Watkins with the birthday boy, Chris.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
We are back, Sactown Sports. One more segment until crosstalk with the Drive guys, Whitey and Draper. It's been a good one. Oh, here you go.
I have no idea what this is.
This
is. I'm sorry. I can't believe I just said that. I was like,
wow.
I'm sorry. I'm fired. No.
No. You know, most people just know the chorus.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
There you go.
Well, and then I had to hear who it was. I was like, what? I've never heard this intro.
There you go. Sing it, Stevie.
Yeah. Do you think Stevie can sing?
Oh, that conspiracy theory?
Is it a conspiracy theory?
Have you heard Shaq's story about it?
No.
Everybody, I feel like everybody has a story of this one time I threw something and Stevie kind of flinched, or I waved at him, or there's like at an award show, somebody blew a kiss towards him and he caught it. And like you kind of see his wife nudge him, so maybe she told him, Stevie, catch it.
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow. Well, shout out Stevie. Yeah, I mean, he's one of my favorites.
Just ridiculous.
And he's, to me, honestly, I don't know how it's possible, but I think Stevie Wonder is weirdly underrated.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, I think most people know who he is and
for sure.
know his story, but I think his music is actually a bit underrated.
Yeah,
and
I
who
agree.
he is as an artist.
Like,
so
he's
shout
not
out Stevie.
really he's not brought up in that Mike Jackson conversation.
No, I don't know that he should be, but I think
feel like he should be. Well, I feel like Stevie's got some eternal music.
I think
he's got enough hits in my opinion.
Well, my question is, and it's not because they both had the same situation, but if you look at a Ray Charles versus a Stevie,
sure.
I feel like, and I could be way off base, so somebody could correct me if I'm wrong. Ray Charles had some classics. Don't get me wrong, and they're not even necessarily the same era per se. Right. But I feel like Stevie, he had some real bangers and some legit songs. And I don't know. I feel like he just needs a little bit more.
He needs more appreciation. He needs his flowers more.
And unfortunately, I'm going to take it there. I mean, you know when he'll get it.
Yes, exactly. Well, that sucks. Exactly.
When it's too late.
It's too late. He's going to be top of the charts and all that stuff. But the dude, I mean, he's just got so many songs, literally so many songs that it's like, they're literally in the same way that Michael Jackson kind of made eternal music that'll get played at weddings. We're 95 and our kids are 95. Stevie Wonder has a couple Superstition, obviously.
Well, you got Superstition and then the wedding song that will never end. Lovely. Isn't she lovely?
Yes,
that one's always going to be the go-to. Right. So yeah. All right. We got a call here from Emil.
Oh no. Is this our Emil?
What's up, Emil? You're on Stiles and Watkins.
Hey guys. How you doing?
Great. How are you doing?
Wonderful. Just leaving practice right now. Brock Purdy is out there on the field. Concussion protocol. He was taking snaps today, not in a blue contact jersey because he's not a position player, but he would be in one of those jerseys. But it is a good sign that he is going to practice right now, obviously during the media portion. And then later he is also scheduled for his regular availability for media as well. So that's a good sign for his playing ability week 8.
Emil, how does this process kind of go? Do you know? I mean, I know the concussion protocol has been taken a little bit more seriously this year. I think every single person who's gotten put into concussion protocol has ended up missing.
I'm sorry, Chris, I can't hear you. What'd you say?
I said, how does this kind of process go? Because I know just about everyone has kind of, missed the week that they got put into concussion protocol. How did Brock kind of get out of this protocol so quickly?
He was showing signs coming back from Minnesota on the team plane. It wasn't, per se, a concussion diagnosis. He was showing signs of a concussion, so that's why they put him in the protocol. The day after that, we were talking to Kyle on Wednesday. He said he was already feeling better and feeling more himself. But now a day later, 24 hours later, he is now on the field. So that's just a good sign. It can move fast sometimes. And while he is on a short week, that is true going into week 8, it's a good sign that he's just out there in general.
So, how long would it take for him to be officially cleared for Sunday? Because it seems like people have already kind of thrown Sam Darnold into that. Does Brock kind of is today just kind of already the sign that he's definitely in step to play, or is there still some more hurdles that he kind of needs to go over before he's cleared for game action?
There is definitely still a couple more hurdles. I don't know exactly what those hurdles are. They're kind of specified with independent neurologists and stuff like that. But the sign is that he is out there, which is a sign that he's gone through enough steps to be present with a helmet on as well, which is a good sign for obviously a head injury. So that just in general is good. And we'll talk to him later, hopefully, and get more clarity on where he's at.
Sheesh.
Thanks, Emil. Thanks for checking in. Look at that. First show, we get guys coming in. Emil's doing his thing, reporting
on his job.
You know what I mean? Just grassroots. That's what we love to see. But that is kind of breaking news to me because Adam Schefter, like you said, nobody.
No, he was done. It was a wrap.
Right. Especially on a short week.
Sam Darnold up on my fantasy
There you
teams.
go. Especially on a short week to be able to get out there. I'm just confused.
Yeah.
Now I'm confused.
Very confused.
How does I don't get it. I don't get it. So concussion symptoms, and then they decided that it wasn't a concussion?
Yeah, so Emil kind of said it that he never was officially diagnosed with a full-blown concussion, just concussion-like symptoms.
Okay.
And which, I don't really know what.
So now I have to be that guy?
Sure.
So do those picks now count? I don't know. Do those picks count now? If he plays against the Bengals, those picks count to me.
Yeah, I think that counts. I definitely think that counts for sure. I mean, if you're out there, it's got to count.
What did he have? I don't know. To me, if it was concussion, if he never had a concussion,
then
I don't know.
I mean, his bell was. I mean, then he just got hit like every other player does.
This is weird, man.
It's very strange because, I mean, yeah, Emil said he couldn't hear me, but essentially what I was laying out was every single player this season, and it hasn't been the case in previous seasons, before you can get into concussion protocol on Monday, be out by Thursday or Friday, and then you're playing, kind of like what we're seeing here. But this entire season, there's not been a single player put into concussion protocol that did not then miss that week's game. And so what is different in this situation? I mean, Emil said that they still need to talk with Brock.
Right,
and
it's not done yet, but he's got a helmet on. He's
very
out there.
strange, very strange. And I wouldn't think that he wouldn't get cleared unless they had they checked all the proper boxes. But it's just really strange, really, really strange.
Yeah, I didn't see this coming.
Didn't see it coming at all. I mean, it was already. I already kind of had it sharpied in that Sam Darnold's going to be starting.
Right, and he still might. But I also don't see why have him out there if it's going to be a close call. I don't know. Interesting.
Also, is this kind of, I don't want to read too much into it, and I know we have to hit a break here soon, but is this kind of a sign that Niners are kind of sweating a little bit? Like maybe they kind of view this as, obviously 3 straight losses isn't great, but I personally wouldn't kill them if they lose to the Bengals, because I think they showed enough through 5 weeks, through those 5 wins, that I'm willing to let some of this slide by, and it kind of it's concerning to me, not concerning, but it's just interesting to me that, like you're saying, it appears that they feel the need that Brock has to get in there, because I think just look how they just approached the Deebo, the McCaffrey, and the Trent Williams thing. They were more than willing to say, we'll give them time if they're ready to go. McCaffrey was ready to go. He can play, but maybe they're taking a different tone. Maybe they are feeling a little bit of sense of urgency, which is interesting for a team that I don't necessarily think they need to feel that sense of urgency.
Well, I guess it's better to feel it than to think you can just coast. And
I would give him time.
Deebo being out,
concussion.
But you're going to look up, and that's the reason now you're in Philly. You got to go to Philly. Sure. So I get it. Semi-breaking news, because we don't know if he's going to play or not, but thank you to Emil for calling in with that note. If you're just now tuning in, Brock Purdy was on the field today during practice, not ever formally diagnosed with a concussion, but concussion-like symptoms, which changes everything. As reported, nobody that has gone into concussion protocol this season has played the next week, but maybe all those guys had a concussion and Brock technically didn't.
Yes.
We will have to wait and see. Okay, you won't have to wait too long for us to get back with the drive guys, Whitey and Draper, as we loop them into what's going on and talk a little bit of Kings. That's next. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL?
Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
At Elk Grove Honda, we see every Honda buyer as a member of the family, so we make sure every certified pre-owned Honda is one we would buy from ourselves. At Elk Grove Honda, we include many benefits that a private seller just can't match. Our Honda-trained technicians only certify our Hondas if they pass a thorough 182-point inspection, and our certified pre-owned Hondas are under 5 years old. So you know you're getting the newest Hondas in prime condition. See our exceptional selection of certified pre-owned Hondas in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
Attorney Joe Cordell. Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court.
In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2060, Sacramento, California, 95814. CordellCordell.com.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Uma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Uma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Uma?
Yep. Switching to Uma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at Uma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
Feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder. Feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with zero down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
0 down with approved credit.
Cooler temperatures mean it's time to reduce your outdoor water use. Water 1 day per week on Saturday or Sunday from November 1st through February 29th. Learn more about your home's watering schedule at sacwaterwise.com.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
We are back. One more segment, Sactown Sports, joined by the Drive guys, who will be driving to the arena tomorrow.
Yes.
And doing the show out there.
Yeah, how about the job that this man did?
Holding your
Appreciate
was
that.
incredible.
Yeah.
Appreciate
when
that.
you have a
Incredible.
dunk like Malik Monk's did yesterday, how do you not just let it all out? How do you not stand? How are you not pushing Katie back?
I am doing that. We need the announcer cam because that's exactly what I'm doing. You know, it's like I'm at home on the couch watching with my son, and that reaction is like, that's just how it is.
The other way. Got it.
It was nuts.
It was crazy. Yeah.
I'd be clearing out the rows. Everybody.
Jazz fans even reacted to that. Like, I made the call and I turned to my right and I see this guy 3 rows ahead of me, and he's just like that, and he's a Jazz fan. It took his soul also, not just the Jazz team. He took the fan souls out also last night. Man, it was crazy.
Wow. That was, I think, truly one of the 10 greatest dunks in Sacramento Kings history.
I think it might have been.
Honestly,
On that list.
Yeah.
It was a true, that's a true poster. He really dunked. Sometimes guys slip out the way. That was a true, chest to chest, I'm dunking on you with purpose.
Right,
You can feel he had violent intentions on that.
And if you're Chris Dunn, I get it. You're trying to give an effort, but you're already in a bad position because Malik he's got a full head of steam, and he gets stuck in the middle, and instead of making the business decision, he decides to jump with him, and I just don't know why you did that.
Yeah.
I have usually great admiration for guys that they try to make the right play, they rotate over, they end up getting posterized. In that case, though, he had options, didn't he, Kyle?
Right.
He had some options.
He could have made a business decision. And how about De'Aaron Fox just setting them up, right? De'Aaron Fox did him dirty. Foxy could have just laid it up or dunked it himself. No, he was like, I want to get my guy to dunk on Chris Dunn. It was amazing, man.
Wow. Frankie says that that Keegan and Fox have a bet going who can have the best dunk of the year. And I don't know if they're going to top that one. Either one of them is going to top that one.
Yeah. So all three of
those
them
two. Well, just those two, Keegan and
Fox. So now they're going to try to outdo it.
I think that's why Malik was left out of that conversation. There was one of those where it's like, look, like, should we tell? No, like he's going to beat us. So
no,
let's just keep it a friendly competition.
Well, we were talking earlier about who you get dunked on by matters, because I think along with the dunk, Malik's reaction after added to it. And he's just a guy I wouldn't want to get dunked on because he talks trash. He's going to get in your grill, right? And it was just a perfect storm of things to happen for Chris Dunn and the Jazz, because Malik is not good. He's not just going to dunk and walk away.
Yeah. Maybe it's a Jazz thing. I don't know if anyone remembers this. Well, I know some people do. 2006, I think it was, Ronnie Price had one of the greatest dunks in Kings history along the baseline at the old Arco over Carlos Boozer.
Yeah.
It was the Kings against the Jazz.
Yeah.
Like, to your point, Ronnie Price, I mean, bless him, but people don't even know who he was. It was
Right.
an amazing
It
dunk.
was.
You remember that
It was
one?
incredible.
Yeah.
Yes. That was one of the last few good memories of Kings basketball.
So it's a Kings Jazz thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Suns Lakers tonight, and you have, what is it, the 76ers and Bucks tonight.
Yes.
Freak Time, the debut of Freak Time with Giannis and Damian Lillard. I'm just not very high on the Bucks. I don't know why. I think it's Chris Middleton. He's been a little injured.
They're going to lose a lot.
I do know why. Then.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they're going to lose a lot defensively.
Yeah.
But it's going to be quite a show, right?
Yeah, I actually like the move for the Bucks. I'm high on them. I think, Chris Middleton is the key, though.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. If he's healthy and he's playing, he's a great number 3 option.
Right.
If he's not, then you got 2, and then, the next best player is what? Brooke Lopez, I guess.
Yeah.
It drops off a lot right there. But I think, the thing about the Bucks, when you get a guy like Dame Lillard, Giannis doesn't have to be your closer anymore. Think, who was their closer? Like Giannis? You can actually neutralize him late in games.
Yeah.
And now you throw in Dame. Dame's one of the best clutch players. So I actually like the Bucks. I think they'll finish second behind the Celtics.
Yeah.
But I actually like the Bucks.
So we got 2 Philly guys in here. Allen was quite literally just in Philly. What are your guys' thoughts on the Sixers? Because it seems like
it's a mess.
Whether James Harden stays or not, it's going to be just an incredibly difficult situation to navigate.
I think it's a mess. I wouldn't touch James Harden. I mean, I don't know what his deal is.
Right.
I don't, the whole he lied to me thing. I don't know. And honestly, I don't care because I just don't think the juice is worth the squeeze anymore with James Harden.
Yeah. It just doesn't feel like anyone's calling for it.
No one's calling.
Like
Why
the Clippers
would they?
have mild interest, but it doesn't seem like they're ready to sell the farm.
Yeah, they don't
or
want to
do all
lose
it takes
anything.
to get it.
Right.
Yeah,
I will take him.
Which they shouldn't. They shouldn't give up anything for him.
He's created these narratives everywhere I mean, he was just okay. The Houston one, I think we all gave him a pass on because he was there for a very long time.
Right.
You go to Brooklyn, that doesn't work out. Then all 3 of them, they need a nickname, right? All 3 of them just turns into, man, I'm glad you got out of there. Oh my gosh. Like they were just being held against their will. Kyrie, I'm just glad KD, and I'm just glad they got out of there. Then James, I gotta be with my guy. I gotta be with the Sixers. And all of a sudden he's in China. He lied to me.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah, I'm with you. I just would have no interest in having him on my squad right now. So
he's just not worth it. Like he doesn't bring you any, he led the league in assists last year, but clearly he's a headache. Clearly he's a malcontent who it's just, you're looking at your clock waiting for the moment where James Harden all of a sudden isn't happy anymore.
He's proven that he is not above trying to cause problems for a franchise. He's done that.
And that's the scary thing with your Philly.
Fine,
is
but I don't want that on my team.
In Philly now, it's like if they're going to keep him around, like you said, he's shown like a propensity to actively try and make the situation worse. So you don't want to keep him. No one wants to trade for him. He's still a great player, but he's not as great as what he thinks he is or what he used to be.
Kevin Huerter for James Harden.
Who says no? I think the Kings say no. I think the Kings say no.
Kyle, I'm kidding.
No, hey, leave my guy Kevin Huerter.
I know, I'm kidding.
Keep his name out your lips, man. No Kevin Huerter slander on this show.
So you think he'll be okay?
Who, Kevin? Oh, yeah. I have no worries about Kevin Huerter. I have zero worries.
You don't think he's hearing footsteps?
Of course, I'm sure he is. That why wouldn't he hear him the way he's been playing? But he's a veteran, This is a guy that shot 40% from three. It's not like you forget how to shoot. Now, in 10 games, we can have this conversation again. If he's still struggling, then I'm worried. But, I thought he actually competed yesterday. He didn't always get the results, but I thought at least the effort was there last night.
All right. Gotta go.
Great first show.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. First episode or first show, Stiles and Watkins. Happy birthday to Chris. Drive Guys up next.
Has Monty put together a roster that can help make a deep playoff run this season?
Just trying to give coach options, give him guys that can help us win in a variety of areas. Obviously, our top guys are going to play every game, but there's going to be other times, whether it's injuries, matchups, we've got to have some variety on the bench for coach to point to and say, go in there and help us win.
Tune into every Kings game